Welcome to the Tall Tale Tavern, the monthly one-shot adventure TTRPG podcast. I am your host, but not your tavern master. Scott, your tavern master, is ill. I'm filling in for him at the moment, even though I'm ill too. He's kind of a faker.
I'm still here. I just can't talk very well.
Well, please don't speak until you're introduced, sir.
I'm sorry.
But while we're at it, joining me at the bar this week is, No, I can't believe this is happening. I finally have to read the intro for Kyle. What's he going to make me say in revenge for all the times I've mocked him, made him say ridiculous things, and even made him proclaim the falsehood that I am the better block dude player? I don't know if I can handle it. Okay. It's all just for fun. It's not real. Don't cry on the air. All right. Here goes. Nothing? He didn't, there's nothing here. He didn't put anything, all that build up for nothing? This is almost worse. No, this is definitely worse. What could he be hiding? I guess I'll just say his name then. Kyle Davidson is here, everybody.
Oh, hi guys, Scott. We could hear your thoughts there. That was weird.
Was I saying those out loud?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when I'm slipping into my D&D character, I like accidentally compartmentalize Scott's thoughts so they come out of the mouth. You understand?
Yeah, it's fine. It's your first time being the host of this podcast, so you're just figured out your thoughts and your words together.
That's true.
Right?
I almost introduced the wrong podcast.
Sometimes Scott's thoughts come out of the mouth. What are you going to say?
What are you going to say? Hey, speaking of that, it's his third time on the show, which means this time he'll be administering performance reviews. Mitch, a.k.a. Bones, is here DMing again.
Don't forget, those are still happening. End of the session.
I'm honestly terrified of what mine's going to say. And joining us as well, Dr. Jared Kilmer is a clinical psychologist and specializes in therapeutic application of role-playing games. He's a forever DM and excited to be a player for once. Welcome back, Jared.
Hey, thanks. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. You don't have to lie and say you're happy to be here, though. None of us are. And last, but certainly not least, fresh off of surgery, he found his way here, even without a battle map to look at. Ev, welcome back, Ev.
Feeling great. Definitely better than you two. So let's get into combat.
Hell yeah. I think on that note, I don't want to be the host. I don't want to keep talking. So let's go back to the Tall Tale Tavern, where our young man in a suit waiting for his job interview continues his tale about the aquarium expedition gone wrong in part 2 of Acquisitions Aquatica. Roll the intro, me.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Before we jump into the action, let's do a little recap of the first half of this adventure. So, employees of Initiatech are all attending a corporate retreat in sunny Kraken Cove, but our heroes missed the early morning shuttle for the company's big day out at the Crystal Aquarium. Head of HR Kooper Shellsworth, mailroom maestro Don Donaldson, junior nepotism hire Peri Bravi, and Spike. Wait, what does Spike Wormstout do for this company anyways? They all finally arrived at the aquarium a couple hours late, only to find that the entire facility had been transformed as if consumed by the ocean itself, with barnacles and corals covering every surface, and the attractions all eerily quiet while the creatures ducked out of sight. After they found some of their coworkers' ID lanyards, sensed some danger, the party geared up with some weapons they found near the cafe, including a harpoon crossbow donated to the aquarium by Initiatech that Spike was able to wield due to his pact. And venturing through the dark tunnels of the deep sea exhibits, the party happened upon 3 Kuotoa warriors who were office spacing a printer. They dispatched the fanatical fish and learned that they served someone or something called Drid, who had it out for the company. At the end of this deep sea exhibit, the party came upon a massive 3-story water tank in which they discovered that an Initiatech manager, known as Tanner the Planner, had trapped himself inside with what he thought to be a dangerous monster, but which turned out to be a pretty laid-back pink dolphin named Sunny D, and more accurately, a fey creature known as a Delighter. Sunny D encouraged them to help the aquarium and the critters within, then warned them of an approaching threat. Now, as the shining glow of Sunny D, he emitted across the room, quickly begins to fade, we rejoin the party. They turn to face 5 magically and technologically altered octopus soldiers, silently approaching across the room. They all have small implanted lights pulsing across their bodies in multicolor flashes. They're using their arms to stand at this very ominous full height. And we have all rolled initiative, which means that Spike, you are the first to act as the darkness settles back upon this room.
They are how far away from me?
About 20 to 30 feet. There's about 5 of them. And for the purpose of this encounter, to make it easier on you guys and the listeners, I'm just going to color code them. So we'll say as they start to, engage, they're all multicolor, and then they kind of settle into, specifying their personal brands. But the nearest one to you is about 20 feet.
Okay. I want to use a spell called Sickening Radiance. And it's a 30-foot radius sphere centered on a point that I choose within range. That's not going to hit us, right? We're not in that. Are we in that close of an area, or can I have a 30-foot radius sphere affect them?
You're at a long enough distance, and the room is large enough where you could pretty safely avoid incorporating the party in one of those sort of radiuses.
Great. Spike is just gonna sigh, and then his eyes are gonna flare green, and he's gonna cast this spell. And it's a 30-foot radius on a spot that I choose. Basically, I just want to choose to hit as many of them as possible. And then a dim greenish light spreads from that center in a 30-foot sphere. And when a creature moves into the spell area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, that creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, or they're going to take 40-10 radiant damage, suffer a level of exhaustion, and emit a dim greenish light in a 5-foot radius.
Well, dang. I think with the way they're sort of spread out, you're still going to hit probably 4 out of 5. If you're kind of on one side of the group there, you kind of have to choose which edge of the line to leave out. Would you like to leave out the one that's, I assume, furthest from you, so you're hitting your sort of immediate threat? Okay. All right. We will have them start making rolls when their turns begin. Anything else from Spike on your first turn?
I think that's all. He'll cast that spell and then have his crossbow ready to start firing.
All right. Well, that was a good initiative on your part, because 2 of the octopus soldiers or octopi move next, and they are both the ones that are closer to Spike there. And of course, you just said it, but what was the save they need to roll again?
It is a Constitution saving throw.
We got a 20 and a 17.
I think that's gonna beat both, because my save DC is 16.
Okay. Any negative effects on a passing save? They're just
don't
need to get out of there before their next turn, I assume.
Let me see. Let me just read it. I think that it's nothing. So they just they pass it. They're good.
Okay. They quickly move with surprising agility and speed for these octopus soldiers who are not submerged in water, and using a couple of their arms to stand tall in a way, and the other ones to sort of brandish as they're about to throw down some punches, and they sort of scuttle out of this noxious cloud to evade any ill effects. The one closest to you, Spike, rushes you, but when you expect a punch, you instead are met with this poof of black ink that sprays out of you. And it doesn't happen to anyone else, but it gets all in your throat, and it's yucky and gunky, and you sound awful. So your voice is just ruined for who knows how long.
Damn
Which-
it.
We can retcon to say happened at the beginning of the episode, but no other ill effects actually. It's just now magical darkness. This ink cannot be seen through with dark vision, and you can't get a sense of how much of the space has been filled by this ink because it sort of originates so close to you. But if your allies were to sort of shout out for with some advice, it looks like only Spike and Don are sort of enveloped in this cloud of darkness, and Kooper and Peri, you both see them both disappear, even in this low blue glow from the tank behind you. They are now just completely out of your sight.
Oh,
And,
jeez, who turned the lights off?
You hear a swoosh as one of the octopus seems to move quickly through the darkness. But Spike, you brace and don't seem to take any blows. The other one, however, immediately descends on Don and throws a few blows before that inky darkness envelops him completely. Let's see, that's a crit fail, a 24 and a 13 to hit.
Well, that 24 will hit.
That will be 20 bludgeoning damage to Don
Oof.
Ooh.
as the octopus soldier, again with lightning precision and speed, faster than you expected as they were taking this slow, ominous march towards you, strikes with its arms, and you feel those suckers really sting as they make contact. But after purple-green, red is also going to go, and red is going to dart for Kooper. This one actually was the furthest one back and is going to... will need to dash. They're a lot faster in the water, but that's going to be full movement and then a little bit more.
And he doesn't go into the spell range of sicking radiance.
Oh yes, he will make his save first. You're right. Con save from red. That's a crit Constitution save. Nat 20.
Yeah, he's fine.
Luckily, warlocks get so many spells that this
I know.
is good.
This is great.
This is
I was like,
turning out.
ooh, all bunch together. I'll use this fourth
was a
level
great-
spell.
Great initiative too. Yeah, there
Push him
he's
in
gonna.
there. Somebody push
He's
him back
gonna
in there.
purely dash out of there though. Not much else to do. Kooper, you've got one bearing down on you, but is not close enough to strike. And luckily, next in the initiative goes to Peri, our Aragon friend.
This is unacceptable. I cannot get whatever this gunk is on my suit. Are you kidding me? I go into a rage. And what's the one that just bared down on Kooper is outside of the darkness, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I think I'll attack that one.
Okay. Kind of step up right alongside
Yeah.
Kooper to get up to that one, a little bit in front of Kooper.
And I will go ahead and use the Great Axe.
Does Grandpappy Bravi make an appearance as you start to throw your tantrum?
Yeah, of course he does. He's almost inconsolable. He's also yelling about the suit.
Just rudely banging on the glass of a tank with his little cane or something too.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to tap on the glass there, fella.
Don't you tell me what to do!
Oh, sorry, sir. I would never.
My family funded this entire day out. We're going to tap on the glass if we want to. That is going to be a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Okay. And damage roll would be 11 slashing.
Okay.
I'll make the second attack. That's a 14.
That 14 will miss.
Okay. And that is, I think, the end of my turn.
Okay.
Going well
Very
so far for us.
Flies into a rage, if you can call it that. And that leads us to Don Donaldson.
Oh, jeez. Well, Don Donaldson can't see a thing, so first thing he's going to do is summon his astral arms and astral visage so that he can cover his face to get astral sight and see through magical darkness.
Oh, beautiful.
Very handy in this particular moment.
And we know Don has a bunch of odd sort of limbs that are mutated and don't really follow a pattern. What is his visage?
His
look
visage,
like?
I think he's going to just oh, got to get my readers, and just plop on a pair of astral glasses in the moment.
Beautiful.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's better. Now, can I see the guy who hit me?
Yes, that octopus is still right up on you. You notice that the one who created the ink that was bearing down on Spike seemed to have backed up a little bit and is a bit out of range. But the other one is right up on you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and make some attacks at the one that hit me then.
Okay.
With my magical quarterstaff that I have right now, thanks to you. Oh my God. A nat 1 on my first attempt at an attack. Good God. And attack number 2? Okay, how about a 23? Does that hit?
Yes, it will.
Oh, excellent. All right, I'm gonna swing at him for 10 damage with the quarterstaff, and I'm gonna say, oh, buddy, I think I accidentally delivered this to the wrong spot. Return to sender.
You see a flash of green lights sort of splash from the impact site and run along its body in these weird little blips and things like that from the implants you were sort of able to see. And with magical sight, even in darkness or magical darkness, you do see more of these sort of odd embedded little cyberware bits down its arms. Maybe a couple of its little suckers have been replaced with metal ones or things like that, and there's like chunks along the sides of their head in various sizes and who knows what uses and things like that. But this sort of takes the blow. And
I don't think these fellers are natural born creatures, I gotta say. I think that's all I can do. Unless I want to take an opportunity attack moving away from him, but I don't really feel like that, so. Oh, wait. I can inflict damage when I activate the astral self on anything I can see within 10 feet of me. I forgot to
do it on the green one. Actually, no. Red and green, the one Kooper and Peri were facing off with, would have been in range of you. So I think you could hit 2 of those with your little
so you gotta do I think it's a saving throw of 15 dex, I want to say, for them, but...
Okay, that is going to be 7 and a 13. Both fail.
All right, cool. So I can do 2d6 force damage to them. Hey, that's 7 damage to both.
Okay, very nice. Handling the magical darkness with aplomb, all things considered. Blue and orange are up. The last 2 of the 5. Blue was in the effect of Spike's spell.
Come on,
and
spell.
rolls a 4 on the Constitution save.
Yes. Here comes some damage.
Hope you roll 1s on all of them.
27 points of radiant damage.
Whoa, fantastic.
And he is suffering 1 level of exhaustion, and now he emits a green dim light in 5-foot radius. The light makes it impossible for the creature to benefit from being invisible, which he wasn't.
That is impressive.
Yeah, the light and the exhaustion levels go away when the spell ends. So.
Okay, and are you concentrating?
I am concentrating on that real hard.
Great. No checks made. You weren't hit in the first round. Sounds good. Okay, yeah, that one looks like it hurt him. Didn't like that. And now glows an ominous green, which sort of clashes with the blue lights flashing around its body. Nevertheless, it will try to advance and gathers its strength as it goes to strike Peri. Going to make some attacks on its first turn. That's going to be a crit and what have to be 2 misses. Terrible rolls on the damage die, all things considered. That is 18 bludgeoning, which you can half to 9.
We'll take it.
And that's not bad for how.
Yeah, he was ready to light you up and then didn't do much. Having a rough time. That green aura probably not feeling too good. And last but not least of the octopus orange, to give its allies advantage, will also shoot out a blast of black ink centered on Peri. Don, it really doesn't matter if you're sort of on the edge of this, as it's all the same to you, but Peri and Kooper will be mostly centered on this little now area of magical darkness.
Don is
this
like
ink.
on the corner getting like astral rain X and spraying it on his face.
Yeah,
right off.
You get like a weird sort of taste in your mouth, but otherwise it's fine. Like a gloomy day. Yeah, and you guys are both plunged into magical darkness, but Orange will not be able to attack on this turn, which means that with an initiative of 0, basically a lair action at this point, Kooper Shellsworth is finally ready to go.
Who's closest to me?
You've got one that's now kind of more focused on Peri because Peri kind of stepped up, but there's room in front of you to attack this red octopus who was sort of headed to you but came up a bit short. And you've also what's your magical darkness capability here, because he probably just went out of your sight.
I mean, I don't think I have magical darkness capabilities.
Okay. Yeah, you knew that
and
none
me
of
both.
them were you knew that none of them were within melee range of you the moment that you lost sight of them. So you're pretty free to move without, fear of opportunity attack. But you knew that one was about 5 feet in front of you.
I just want to lumber towards where it should be.
Okay.
And while I'm approaching it, my warhammer starts to gleam with an astral radiance as I get ready to deliver a branding smite.
All right.
As soon as I can feel or see something in front of me, I'm going to drop this hammer.
Okay, so are you holding a reaction instead of attacking with... I mean, you could, I guess, simply attack with disadvantage or wait for the prime opportunity.
In my head, I wait until I make physical contact, like I'm real sure.
Just bump into it and then swing at whatever it is. Okay. Yeah, I'll say that roll with disadvantage is very, very fair.
Okay. Ouch. Okay. It was a 12 or a crit.
Close. Canceling out the crit. Even through this magical ink, you almost disperse a little streak of it in front of you where you see this octopus. Once you bump and step back and swing, it moves out of the way as it's not debilitated by this darkness. But your shining warhammer cuts through, just barely misses it. I believe you can concentrate on that smite, so you still have it active, or is it one of those? There's too many smites for me to keep track.
I think I just
Is it only if
used
you
the spell
hit?
slot. Yeah.
Do you have to say it before you hit, or can you hit and then smite?
Next time
I think
you
the
hit.
spells
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to
Next time you
activate
hit.
with a bonus. Yeah, so you're concentrating on it, so you can keep trying unless you lose concentration.
I want to, especially if I cut through the darkness and I can see a little better, I do want to try again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you still
Yeah.
have that smite concentrated on.
All right, let's try this one more time. That's a 19.
A 19 will do it. Using both the light of your warhammer and the light coming off of this octopus, you strike true this time.
All right, when branding smite hits, I would like to interpret this really literally, and a little Initiatech logo come up off from where I hit
Nice.
the octopus, and I say, "You're on my radar now." And damage should be 17.
Beautiful hit.
Yeah.
This is also emitting a dim light. I mean, you guys are literally lighting this place up despite the darkness. This one, taking hits from 3 of you, is looking pretty hurt. Still standing, but definitely not looking good comparatively here. Nice job. Anything else from Poop?
No, that's it.
Besides a threatening message from HR, what could be worse? That means we are back to the top with Spike, who is hacking up a black lung of octopus.
I gotta get out. Can I get out of this and shoot somebody? And or is it like all enveloping and I can shoot one of the ones I lit up?
You'd be able to sort of find your way out if you want to sort of choose a direction to go. I feel like straight back you probably bump into the tank and don't assume that gives you much clearance. But if you'd like to try to find the edge of the ink cloud,
I would
Apparently
like
I can help guide him which way to go.
Yeah, I suppose you'd have all the ability to just yell out which direction.
Don, which way do I go?
Oh yeah, go head over
outside
that
of this.
way. And I just point. Head over, go over that direction.
Don,
right
I can't see your tentacle arm or whatever.
Just some classic humor. I don't know. Go not back. Go to the left. I don't actually know. I can't.
If you're sort
right.
of you have a sense of your allies, and if you're aiming essentially towards the outskirts of the scrum here, and sort of heading to your left, not any closer to where you think the rest of the octopus are, you in about 20 feet do find the edge of this ink cloud. You sort of bust out into normal darkness, and the majority of the fight from this specific angle is kind of now being heard on the other side of the ink clouds, but the one that created it and dashed back, you see just sort of standing on the edge of the cloud, observing.
Oh, good. I can
waiting
fire
for
at
a
him.
moment to strike. Yeah.
Sick. I'm firing at him. It's crossbow time.
All right, let's see it.
That is a 28 to hit.
Yeah, definitely.
That is 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then I get 2 attacks per action. That's another 28. Rolled 2 19s on my if only one was a 20.
Yeah.
And that'll be 10 points of piercing damage on that one. And then the bonus action with my hand crossbow, because my crossbow feet, that is only a 14 to hit.
14 will miss.
Whiff. All
Quick
right.
loading crossbow, however. A good chunk of damage there as Spike dashes out to the side of the ink cloud to get good view.
You boys ever tried calamari? I've always wanted to try it.
I'm gonna say that this one, because he was being kind of sneaky and then darted back, is gonna do another turn starting in the noxious cloud. So the purple octopus up next will make this con save. The rest have kind of
happen, I'm sure.
Come on. Sickening
I'm gonna-
radiance.
peek behind the curtain. They've only got a +2 to this. I don't know. I was rolling 20s and stuff early. Let's see. That's gonna be a 21.
Sickening radiance. This is your one chance to impress me, and I will never use this spell again, apparently.
This is like a best case scenario. Normally it's like things have high constitution modifiers. That's what's ruining it.
Yeah, that's just they're normal. They're fine, but they're passing my DC of 16.
Yeah, this one wasn't expecting you to find an angle so quickly, so those first 2 shots land, but then it's back to moving quick. It darts around, evades the sickening radiance, dashes back into the ink cloud to come upon you and strike back at you, Spike, and is going to take some attacks. That's going to be a 23, a 12, and a 15.
Well, my AC is 14, so 2 of those attacks hit.
2 managed to hit. All right. That's going to be a grand total of 22 bludgeoning
Okay.
damage from purple.
I can't see Spike right now.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
But can Grandpappy see?
So now I need to make 2 con saves.
Yeah, so they're individual hits, so really you just need to beat a 10 concentration check con save each time.
Okay, and I get advantage on con saves with my Eldritch Invocation.
Very nice.
He's not gonna do it. I can already tell.
First one was 13.
That's good.
Safe?
So, oh yeah, that's a save because I only have to beat a 10. Okay,
Yeah.
the second one is a 22. So we're good.
Okay. Sickening Radiance remains, though much of the octopi have cleared out. Still a threat should they try to make room. That's going to take us to Green, who is bearing down on Dawn and will make a couple attacks. Let's see what happens. Okay, those first 2 are 13 and a 15. Do those hit?
They do not.
Okay, third one is a 21, but it's going to swap that attack for a grapple. So as it struggles to make any strong purchase on you, the third you feel just catching one of your limbs. Tough to keep track of how many extremities are going on in this 5-foot square right here with the two of you. And you feel an octopus limb wrap around and just grip on tight to one of your tangible arms, and you are grappled, not restrained. It doesn't do damage. You're just technically grappled by that third attack. And that's going to take us to Red, who is glowing with radiant light, dimly, but it's noticeable in this environment, and taking some hits from 2-3 fronts now, but wants to focus on Peri, who is good at making himself known and probably the worst at seeing at the moment. So it's going to make some attacks with advantage here. Even with advantage, does a 16 hit on the first one?
It does hit.
Okay, that means the 25 and the 20 will both hit as well. And these are all attacks, no grapple attempts, for a grand total of 29 damage, which you can then half.
Good thing.
As it's bludgeoning, these, again, forceful, stinging punches come from all angles. One is an uppercut, one gets you in the ribs, and one just sort of like stings your leg somehow. They really can reach from all angles here, and in the pure darkness, you're unable to really protect yourself well. You feel a fourth one, but you realize it's not real. It's just the whack of Bravi's cane on your ankle, just saying, "Pay attention!" And that one hurts the most, perhaps.
I know. Psychic damage.
Is what psychic damage? I can't remember the damage types in 5e sometimes. Emotional damage is what that is. But Peri, that is your turn. This one in front of you is kind of glowing. It's, again, this magical darkness is sort of a practical effect in the air that Kooper kind of cleared up a little bit. I'm not going to say you have pure advantage on this guy or anything like that if you're a reckless, but I think you'd have normal attacks, at least on this one.
I think just the stress of the situation and of Grandpappy's criticisms, I have to like recenter for a second. So I'm gonna rabbit hop out of wherever I am. I just leap 15 feet in a random direction and do not take opportunity attacks from doing so.
Oh, beautiful.
Then I scan the battlefield outside of the weird like combo of darkness and light. And I see the dude who's doing this, and I think he's to blame for my, anxiety in this moment. And I charge at him and I attack him instead.
Okay.
Get a
For those listening, by doing this, and by doing this, he meant moving his arms tentacly.
Yeah,
it's good radio. Yeah. I know.
We know the we all know the Squidward dance.
Oh, that's the one.
That's the one.
Just.
Can you please answer if the squids are hot, though? I just need to know.
Nah, they're like the jar heads of octopi. They're a little intense.
The handsome Squidwards.
Yes.
They're the handsome Squidwards.
They've all got very angry but sad eyes.
That was a 15 to hit.
Which one are you striking specifically? One that you had been engaged with?
The one doing the Squidward dance.
I'm not sure which one I established was dancing.
Uh-oh.
The
one that
Kyle
Spike
shot?
was attacking. Yeah.
Okay, yes. The one that kind of, stayed on the edge. Yeah. You can leap, and with your movement plus leap, you could rush over
I
the Spike.
assume I'm good. I still have 40 feet of movement after the leap.
Absolutely.
Okay. So does the 15 hit?
15 does not hit.
Then it's got to be reckless, and it's now an 18.
Okay.
The damage is 19 slashing.
Okay, good hit. And you're reckless now, so might as well attack with advantage for the second.
Yep, absolutely. That is a 29 to hit. Almost a crit.
Yeah.
And the damage there is 12 more slashing.
Peri, you cut this one down. It is evasive and making sure to give Spike a hard time, dodging crossbow bolts and the like, but did not expect big angry bunny man to come up behind it, and you just get 2 good clean hits and take down the purple octopus.
Just had to set some boundaries, find my center. We're good. We're back.
With violence. Don, that's to you.
Hell yeah. I can still move while I'm grappled, right? It's just halved, or I have to like drag him.
No, you're 0. You're grappled, so you're 0.
Okay, he grappled me.
But you're free to attack.
I think if you stunned him, then you could. Well, then you'd have to maybe still do a check to get out.
Conceivably, but I'm not too worried about it. I was only wondering if I could drag him so that you guys would be able to attack him if he survived on the next turn out of this cloud of darkness. But I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna, oh buddy, I don't think we know each other that well. Could you at least shake my hand first? And go in for some astral unarmed strikes. First one, 22 to hit.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah, 4, 5 damage. Next one, I'll hit him with the staff on this one. Why not? Ooh, only 14 to hit.
That's a miss.
I will flurry of blows then with a key point and
all right.
Try it again. For 12 to hit. Terrible rolls. Oh my gosh. And last one is a 13 to hit. Oh my gosh.
There are a lot of arms happening right here. Unfortunately, you're not able to find purchase, even though each of those attacks was made with a different limb / weapon. It's just a mess of blocks and parries from all angles and things like that as you go toe to toe with the green octopus.
Ah, gee, that's embarrassing. This, look away, everybody. I can't see.
Okay, the blue octopus is up next, and it is still affected by sickening radiance. It's got disadvantage on ability checks. Fortunately for it, those aren't attack rolls. And it's going to move through the darkness to get an angle on Kooper, who, since Peri has moved over, kind of on his own with the remaining 3 over here on the right.
I can take it.
But it's the confidence he needs, and we'll have advantage on these in the darkness. Let's make some tentacle attacks here. An 18, a 19, and an 8.
The middle one hits.
Just the middle one. Okay. Rough, but at least that was 15 bludgeoning on that strike.
Oof.
They hit hard when they want to hit.
Feel it through the shell.
Yeah, it's like there's this extra little zap you get where it's like they get a grip on you, right as like they punch, but then grip and pull, and it's just that extra little sting that really makes it hurt, even when you've got shields and such. That means blue is already done. You've got this weird green light coming at you from one side, and the radiant light you put on the other octopus in front of you, but the third one is not emitting any sort of light for now, and darts around to make some more attacks on Kooper. Oof, an 8, a 22 should hit, or another 12 bludgeoning.
Okay.
And an 18, that's a miss.
18's a miss, thank goodness.
Whew.
Nice.
All right, the grapple check fails. Some tentacles, the suckers just grab some real shiny, slippery armor or something like that. Can't find purchase. Luckily, down to Kooper at the bottom of the Inish here. Basically 3 octopus surrounding you.
I've been praying since before my turn even started, and I'm opening with a bonus action, praying to gain divine favor, and mostly that's just me muttering to myself, hard work pays off. The future depends on what I do today. Dream, believe, achieve. I'm psyching myself up.
Just so many inspirational posters, I feel like.
It's just a turtle hanging from a branch, just hanging there. Comes to mind.
There's that a tabaxi sort of reaching for a butterfly or something that's there. It just says, you can do it.
Who can I most readily see? Because I want to start dropping hammers.
I think I'm going to say that the one with radiant light is probably your best bet.
Oh yeah, I'm not done with that
residual
one.
effects. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, your branding smite sort of like marked it as a target for you, and it's enough of that radiant magic is pushing through the darkness to see.
All right. Well, I am making an attack on that one.
All right.
Oof. Okay. First one is gonna miss. It's a 9.
Yes,
Well,
it will.
I don't want to tell you your job, but I'm pretty sure it misses.
Hey, you're a DM. You get it. 9s are bad.
Oh, and the next one's 11.
Yeah, you're swiping away at the ink. You know, you're really clearing it out. The more you swing this hammer, just physically dispersing the air in this room. But it's still right now pretty easy for them to evade your hits. So you guys can tell Kooper is really giving it his all, and the muttering might even be audible. But yeah, not looking great for him over there. Luckily, Spike is up. We're at the top of the initiative again. And Spike, the octopus that was pursuing you, is now down. You're free to move without taking any sort of hits. There is quite a bit of magic interrupting your view of the fight, but were you to skirt around it, you could probably see that octopus emitting radiant light with
Yes,
some
I'm gonna try
red.
and find him.
Yeah, those red blips coming through as well.
Cool. I'm gonna find him. Just casually walk towards him. Just reloading my crossbow. Just kind of whistling. And then gonna aim and fire 3 more shots at him.
Your whistle turns into like a bubble of black little ink that floats in the air.
First one's a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
And 12 points of piercing damage.
Man, Kooper was close, but Spike, that's enough to finish this one off.
Oh, sick.
Clean shot does the job, and the radiant light slowly begins to sort of dim along with the red lights on its body as it collapses to the ground.
All right, nice. And then I don't see any of the other ones.
Yeah, I think you'd need to move pretty far around to catch the other one. You know, you tagged one with
Is there one
sickening
in the
radiance.
darkness that I can go in there and shoot at disadvantage?
Yeah, I think the one that's like like Don and the
Grappled.
Green are just grappled and literally just whacking each other and block. Like there's enough sort of noise to understand.
All right, Don, I'm coming in. Just yeah, keep him grappled. You've got him grappled, right?
Oh, you know, I got him. Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Just hold still here. And I walk in and try and shoot at the thing with disadvantage.
All right, you crit fail, you hit Don.
It's a 22 to hit.
I was ready to have an excuse to deflect missiles, honestly.
I
I
was
have a bonus
trying to give you
action
one.
here. I have a bonus action still. If this one doesn't take it out, I guess. But 11 piercing damage,
Yeah, this one's still up.
and then I'm gonna do that again. Disadvantage. Did I get him done?
Well, you didn't get me, so that's good.
All right, I'm shooting again. And my lowest roll is a 4, so that's a 13 to hit.
Yeah, that one just sort of zips past. Don, you notice the crossbow bolt sail over both of your heads and plink against the glass of the tank behind you.
We don't wanna have
Tanner
to pay
the
for
planner
that.
he had just sort of poked his head back up, still using a bubble of air to breathe in there. He was looking around and checking to see if it was safe, and then sees this crossbow bolt just stab into the glass at his face, and he screams and little bubbles come out, and he again ducks back down lower into the tank out of sight. Is that it for
Yep,
Spike?
that's his turn.
All your shots? Just pumping crossbow bolts into a black cloud.
Yeah.
That's good.
He does not care that much.
He's that close to retirement.
Yeah.
Green is still up. Purple and red are down. That one's the one grappling. He's going to take some strikes on. 25, 17, 11.
2 of those hit.
Okay, pretty bad damage roll on the first one, decent on the second. That's all going to be a total of 22 bludgeoning.
Ouch.
Okay, I still can't see anybody. Is he in darkness?
Yes.
Brutal.
How close is he to me?
That's smarts.
Don is about 5. There's about a 5-foot space between Don and Kooper at the moment.
Oh, don't worry about me, fellas. I've been through way worse than this, you know.
What the hell is happening in the mailroom if you've been through worse than this?
Oh, you don't want to hear about the paper cuts I've had. Trust me, buddy.
But I might be able to use my reaction to intercept some of that damage Don just took. Reduce it by 1d10 plus 3.
I think the darkness is gonna just neutralize, even with you guys. Like, attacks at disadvantage is one thing, but I think abilities that would rely on sight, unless intercept has some wording.
That is why I keep asking.
A creature you see hits. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys can yell at Don to maybe push them out of the ink or something like that. But unfortunately,
I'm trying.
And Don can see clearly, so it's like hard to even conceptualize now. Okay, that was Green's turn, which means it does go to Peri, who has just taken down Purple, and similar to Spike, you can kind of clearly tell where the action is and kind of push through the darkness to make some.
Yeah, Peri takes Don at his word and just believes that he has this just locked down. So he's gonna go help Kooper.
Okay, just pushing through the darkness.
Push through, and I'll recklessly attack whatever I can get at.
Okay, yeah, you can tell that there's sort of two over here. One is the one that was tagged with Sickening Radiance, and the other one has been pretty sneaky and hasn't taken any hits at all. So it's kind of up to you. You have plenty of movement.
Okay. The one who's taking the Sickening Radiance.
Okay. Getting up on blue.
Yeah, I'll go reckless to hopefully cancel out darkness disadvantage.
Neutralizes that.
Oh, that's a 13 to hit.
13's a miss.
But Peri's really lucky, so he's gonna try that one more time. How about a 27 instead?
That'll do it.
Cool.
The guy who got handed a job has the lucky feat.
He sure does.
This world is not fair.
He started with the lucky.
16 slashing.
Yeah, when he was born, they handed him a lucky silver spoon.
That one is on its last legs. That was a good hit.
Let's go next attack.
That means 7 down.
20 to hit.
That'll do it.
And 16 more slashing.
Yeah, that'll be enough. Put this one out of its misery. Sickening Radiance still consuming its body as it falls. Kooper, the one your right is cleared up. You still sense presence behind you. Anything else from Peri?
Nope.
Okay. Peri and Kooper squared up together now, right next to Don, who is dealing with green octopus, who still won't go down. But Don, you're up.
Well, let's see if he will go down. How about that? All right.
Let's do it.
Start punching at this feller for 24 to hit.
That'll do it.
Good. For 7 damage on that first hit. And
still up.
You know what? I like the suggestion before that this fella should be stunned. So let's try to make that a stunning strike while we're at it.
Okay, on that one, he rolls a save, right, Con?
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna be a 5.
He is stunned until the end of my next turn.
Suddenly, all of those arms, tentacles, the one wrapped around one of your appendages and all that goes loose and immediately kind of falls slack, and he almost seems kind of floating in normal air, but is completely stunned.
I love to see that. So there's just him, and then what? One more over with Kooper and Peri?
Yeah, one right behind you, about 5 feet away, but it kind of swept around and flanked you both, but was focusing on Kooper.
Gotcha. Well, might as well try to finish up the guy that's in front of me still first. Okay. So take another swing at him with the old quarterstaff for 15 to hit.
And you should have advantage on that.
I agree.
I should. Want to try to roll for the crit just to see?
No, we got 16 to hit though. We really upped it.
That will hit. That's what you needed.
How about 10 damage from that one?
That's also what you needed. With the stun and the advantage, find purchase, and you knock this one out. Falls back, drifts seemingly through the ink.
And without even looking, I'll just do my bonus action with my astral arm to punch at the one that's behind me.
Beautiful.
For a 24 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
And 8 damage to that one.
Okay, land the first strike on this one, but he's the last one up. The orange lights begin to pulse once more as that octopus has a turn here. Going to spread out the attacks a little bit. Throw one at Don for 17 to hit.
Oh, just hits, damn it.
12 bludgeoning.
Okay, ouchie, pal. I'm fine. I'm all right. Don't want to be a bother. I'm good, guys.
Oh, and with Kooper's, very hard shell, 17 and 14, I believe, both miss.
Don't even feel it.
Yeah, nothing happening there. Kooper, that's down to you.
All right, I can see one of them this time.
Yeah, this one I'm gonna say is sort of like went so far around you guys, and now that your focus can kind of turn and spot him, and Don has moved up on him. Like, this is sort of like the edge of the ink cloud, and he's basically backlit by the glass tank that Sunny D was in. So you've got even if it's like not totally clear that you can see him, there's this perfect silhouette of this octopus.
But not clear enough that one could perhaps intercept any damage that just happened to me on that turn. Surely.
Not even if I wanted to. No, I'm going for that silhouette.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 Warhammers incoming. We got a 17.
That'll hit.
All right. And then, spoiler, also a 15, but I'll roll some damage for the first time.
15 will not connect. What does the 17 get you?
We are looking at 9 plus that prayer from earlier, plus 1, so 10. It pays off to pray.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotta get him down somehow.
Hard work pays off.
This one's still looking, healthy enough after a couple hits. Spike, you are up. You get the sense that the party is zeroing in on the remaining octopus. I'll say you just simply have to, once again, run to the other side of the cloud to get an angle, just kind of zipping around the edges there.
I'm
can
getting
line up
so
a shot.
tired of the running around all this much. Where is
That
he? Can I
long-
see
Is
him?
it technically running? Do you have legs or do you have a snake bottom? I don't know.
No, I've got legs.
Okay.
I've got legs.
Yeah,
Some
you
of
run
us
up
can.
to
Some of
the.
us can choose. I can't. Who wants a snake worm body, anyways? Who wants to slither? Nothing beats a pair of 2 good legs.
Choose your words carefully in this aquarium.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, you can see him. You run up to the other side of to the far end of the tank. You're along the glass, and that blue glow gives you a clean line of sight to land some shots.
all right. First one is a 15 to hit.
Miss.
Miss. Second one is a 26 to hit.
It's either like a 25 plus,
Yeah.
or like 1 below the AC. That's all it's been.
That's 11 piercing.
Okay, there we go.
Let's see if I can make put another shish kebab in this one. That's 11 to hit.
More like a miss
No.
kebab.
Hey. Yeah, that's kind of funny though. All right.
Green's off the glass.
I'm just waiting for us to accidentally break the
Break
glass
it,
wall
yeah.
behind us. Just flood the room.
If we're responsible for Sunny D's death, we might have to call it a one shot.
Sunny D's been sort of casually maintaining some mending cantrips as this goes on. She's like, "Oop, let me get that." Just sort of like does the wax on sort of motion and makes sure things are all right. Peri, now's your chance.
Reckless attack.
You've got advantage if you can push all the way up on him.
28 to hit.
Like I said.
Think it's all right. 15 slashing.
And come on, one more. Land it, you kill him.
All right.
Or of course do non-lethal damage.
No. 24 to hit for
Yes.
14. slashing.
That's enough. The octopus soldier finally.
I think about
down.
non-lethal between attacks, and Grandpappy like wraps me on the knuckles and gives me a like, just like
the
do it kind
sternest
of look.
glare. Yeah.
And the slightest hesitation, but that's enough. I finished the job. Yeah.
Truly, if you hold back in this instant, you will disappoint so many of your ancestors.
I feel like the classic trope of like the aggressive like grandpa or dad is like that you have to kill a rabbit. How does that work for Harringans? You know, like growing up. What did he have?
Oh yeah, like I think back to some like traumatic childhood memory of like BB gunning a snake with Spike over my shoulder, and I'm just like, I gotta block that out. That's a little can't think about that right now.
I thought it would just be reversed. Instead of a bunny, it's just a baby. It's a human.
child. God.
Now that
reversed.
one's buried way deeper. That does not come back up.
Yeah. Your most toxic masculinity side, it comes out for a moment here, and you think about how you've killed what is likely a more powerful and more intelligent creature, and surely that is really good according to your ancestors. But then you do have a slight moment of, is this a good thought to have? As your rage sort of ends, those are all washed clean. Okay, party has fended off these attacking octopus soldiers. Their lights are no longer flashing. They all lay slumped on the ground. Some of them perhaps, might recover, might just be the end here, but none of them are getting up anytime soon. And Sunny D reappears once more, this pink dolphin character, and surveys the room a little bit, light kind of coming back as the ink is dispersed. He looks around, it's like, oh, well, since you survived that, that's a pretty good sign, but I do recommend maybe skedaddling, and while y'all were duking it out, I spotted over there in the corner, that little staff only sign. Yeah, I bet you could probably dig through some of the barnacles and get up to the second floor there. But like I said, you might want to get going quick. Who knows what might follow up and see what happened here.
Oh yeah, good call. But I personally could use a little breather when we get up there, fellas. Not feeling so hot. I don't want to slow anyone down. But just once we're up there, maybe.
Yeah, probably a better place to rest than over here at the tank. As much as I appreciate your company, I've got Tanner to keep me entertained.
Who?
That'd be one of your employees, sir, in the tank right there.
Tanner the planner?
Right. Tanner. Yeah, I remember him now. That's good. I'm glad he's okay. He's the lifeblood of the company.
I'm glad you think he's okay. I'm glad this company really cares about its employees like that. That's great.
It's just, it's how we've always operated.
Right.
I really should try to chase him down and refill his air bubble. I know he still thinks I'm trying to kill him, but we'll be fine. He'll be alive by the time you guys get back. He does a cool barrel roll again and darts off, and you hear him just going, Tanner, and spins around back into the depths of the tank.
You wouldn't think noise would travel so well through water and glass, I tell you.
These octopus are lying at your feet if you want to investigate anything, but you all do see the staff-only sign that seems to emanate through the overgrowth on the walls. Can probably dig your way through to one of the doors there that can get you to the second floor. As we recall, your path to the left wing of the aquarium was blocked, but you know that from the second floor, there was that water bridge you saw in the entryway that carries visitors to and from.
I know we gotta get a move on, but I am so curious about these implants. Can I do some sort of investigation?
Yeah. I think everyone can be a investigation check. Should they put your heads together?
Spike is not looking. Instead, he took 22 points of damage there. Did he lose any fingers or anything?
To get up on you, Spike, you look down and it seems like there's a knuckle and maybe like a ring or something like that, and then just above that is a little bloody stump, and then like still iron grip by one of the octopus in its little suckers is the tip of your finger
God
on
damn
the purple
it,
one
again.
at your
All
feet.
right. Yeah, whatever. You can have that one. I look down at that ring and you just see it like slowly, tiny little like replacement finger from that nub is like starting to grow.
Sort of lighter and scaly as it's sort of this like little baby finger in the moment.
Yes, it's starting to grow back.
Spike, I can speed that up if you just let me lay on hands for a second.
Yeah, if you want to give me a minute, I can kind of heal myself a little bit with this ring here. But if anybody else that needs more healing, let's see.
Don just coughs up some blood in the corner right now.
Don's looking. You might maybe do your little hand.
Don't worry, about me. I'll be fine. I'm only at, like a third of my health. Don't worry.
Don, you gotta speak up. If you're bleeding out, you gotta speak up so we can heal you.
I don't think I'm bleeding out. It's all internal.
Don, let the company help you. Just fill out this form and I'll lay on hands immediately.
All right.
That's no joke, man. If you don't sign up for workman's comp right away, like they might not give it to you, and that's just more paperwork later.
Yeah. Hold on. Can I see that form real quick?
I have so many copies, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I take it and I rip it up and I say, heal the damn man, heal it.
I'm already filling out like 4 forms with all my different arms right now.
Yeah, I do need that in triplicate, thank you. But how much HP do you want pumped in? I can do 40.
40 wouldn't even get me all the way back up to full
You get
health.
40 HP, Don.
Nice. Oh, see, I always say Initiatech takes care of its employees. Donna's always telling me I should quit or try to move up or something. I'm a career courier for you guys. That's all I have to say.
That's right. Winners never quit and quitters never win.
All right. Are we investigating the
Who's peering at these octopus on the ground here?
I rolled a 4.
Okay.
While Don was
Pushing it
hacking
around
up
with
blood,
your
he got a
foot.
10. So
All right. Can anyone do better than a 10?
Nope.
There we go.
nice.
Spike, if he's trying to speed it up, the process as they're looking and failing, he's gonna look and see if there's anything. He gets a 16 on his investigation.
Yeah, out of pure impatience, you decide to investigate. And Kooper and Spike, you both confirm that this is on more than one octopus and can eventually find it on all of them. But, the little lights that were embedded were very subtle and small, and when they're not on, you almost can't see the tech that's been added to these octopus in some places. The replaced suckers are a bit more obvious, but what's all clear to you is that these sort of cyberware type plates that are usually in the back of the neck, or the sides of their sort of bulbous heads, that's obvious from the jump. And as you look carefully at that and manage to kind of push one over, see the back of its head and see what does this thing do, you can make out that on each of these octopus soldiers is a Roman numeral 8 etched into the little plate on each of their little cyberware bits there. Not much to make out of, the rest besides these are, they're giant octopus, but being giant is not odd to you. That's pretty common. That's the least weird thing, perhaps. But the other modifications just seem a little advanced for your knowledge. Peri, do you want to give me a athletics check in the meantime, as you're likely the most capable of forcing open this staff-only pathway?
How about a natural 20?
All right, finally showing up. And,
investigating the tech on the ground, not my thing. I'm going to move on quickly.
Something you've expressly avoided at work. You apply your skills more efficiently, and kind of with the hilt of your axe break away where you think the handle probably is going to be. And once you clear out a grip on that, pull hard enough, and these barnacles and encrusted ocean floor breaks off of the wall. Kind of have to force like a door with the stopper in kind of thing. Scrape it along, clearing off the floor. And you see this sort of like painfully lit, not super bright, just that awful, corporate lighting kind of shine through as like one bulb is kind of flickering in here. The power's kind of hanging on in some places in this building. And it's pretty, untouched by whatever caused the rest of the environment to look like this. But yeah, clear path forward, and the staircase sort of weaves to the second floor.
I mean, outstanding leadership right there, sir, I gotta say, getting that door open.
It's lit like all those cubicles on the lower floors, but I think it looks pretty safe.
Yeah, I feel at peace in this lighting.
I feel right at home. This is much better than that inky, nasty darkness. I say we head up.
Suddenly more comfortable in this, frankly, grim stairwell. The employees of Initiatech make their way to the second floor. At the landing here, you see another sort of employee disguised door at the far end. There's a little sign in just plain text, doesn't have any sort of fun aquarium style directions on the inside here. But you see an arrow pointing to the left is like deep sea upper floor. You guys know you were in the deep sea exhibit. To the right, water bridge. But before that, you see another plain boring door jutting off from this landing into a little side room at the top here. And the door doesn't seem to have any sort of protection on it. You guys are already in the sort of employee space to begin with. See those little vertical window in there. If you peer inside, you see a desk facing a wall, and on that wall is sort of like a wall of water, and floating on the wall of water are these bubbles that kind of bob up and down, and they're all about the size of a small TV screen. Kooper, you'd actually recognize this kind of tech. Now you have a different sort of design, but pretty clearly a scrying sphere when you see one. Yours is in the form of a crystal ball, which you use at the office. These have a nice little bubble aesthetic for the aquarium. But yeah, same thing, same concept. So it's pretty clear what this is to you.
I think we found a surveillance room.
I am not one to be nosy, but maybe we could peek on in there, see if we can get any information.
Yeah, let's surveil. Can I go up to that wall and like interact with it?
Yeah. You enter this little room, and you're probably assuming, once you get a lay of the land, that this is like a remote security type room. There's probably a main office with the proper control center, but this needs to be monitored from multiple points within the aquarium. So it's a pretty simple interaction, and you kind of pick up on it quickly enough with your business prowess. But yeah, this is just a way to view the security feeds at the aquarium, and pretty quickly, now that you're getting the right look, you can tell that a lot of the crystal, these spheres, are blocked off, probably from the general overgrowth. So they kind of look just murky, almost like a soap bubble sort of thing, and nothing suspicious. Merely that, yeah, no doubt that some of the tech here is not at full functionality. But as you operate the panel, a couple basic business cantrips, scroll through some of your views, you find one that's working, and you see the open entrance with the massive dragon turtle skeleton suspended in the atrium. No movement. Keep flipping through, and you see a space that looks like it's got like little, almost like tide pool displays. And you immediately stop, because on that screen you see people. And in this scrying screen, whatever we're going to refer to it as, right away, you guys all recognize, you crowd around the little bubble here, the Initiatech employees have been sort of corralled into a little group at the center of this kind of larger room. And at the peripheries are just little tide pool displays. You can kind of walk up and see down into the water, as opposed to having to face a plane of glass. And the tide pools kind of surround them, and standing in the little pathways that sort of lead towards the edges of this area are these Kuotoa warrior guards. They've got their odd little spears, and they're sort of standing guard and circling the employees, who are all huddled up in a large group in the center. And as you guys kind of immediately look out for recognizable faces, you spot little Sylvester and Pyraxicon, the Eviscerator Jr.
Thank you.
They're both
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they're both sitting on the ground together. You see them kind of quietly talking to each other. Don, you recognize Pyraxicon pretty easily considering his size. You see he's got an arm around Sylvester, and Sylvester seems to like be kind of getting along with him. And you see that Pyraxicon is kind of like, every once in a while he'll just kind of like do a look to the left and right over his shoulder and like kind of scan these Kuotoa around him. But otherwise he's kind of trying to keep Sylvester in a good mood.
Yeah, I told you he was a good kid outside of all the, suspensions and expulsions and all that.
He does reach back into the little tide pool and pull out a fish and bite its head off, and a lot of people kind of gasp and scream at that. But
at least he's keeping fed. That's smart. Needs to keep his strength up.
This Pyraxicon, is he's getting into trouble. Is he any sort of fighter? Is he? He's kind of looking at these Kuotoa. Is he an asset, or do we got to protect this kid pretty well?
Well, his dad's not named Pyraxicon the Eviscerator for, no reason. He's learned a thing or two with this pa, I'm sure, but, he doesn't get much occasion to do eviscerating, but he gets into enough fights at recess that I think he could probably hold his own.
That's good, because looks like a good kid taking care of Sylvester. I'm not sure about Sylvester. He's, he's a good kid too, though.
Kooper, you scan the crowd and you do find an elderly turtle woman. Sandy Shellsworth is just knitting nervously, keeps it on her for bus rides and things like that. Just sort of knitting a shape of nothingness, sort of huddled around and protected by coworkers. One of the family and friends are all there, some of them looking a little bit more scared than others.
It's good to know she's okay and keeping busy.
In the center of this group of employees, almost within its own ring, you all recognize a few of the executives of Initiatech. And whether or not you have a lot of in-person interaction with them, you'd all know their names at least and recognize them from here. Standing in the center of this little group, sort of a tall elf, silver fox type in a nice suit, pinstripes and the like, is the CEO. His name is Chark Lazuli, and Chark is just, you can see him talking with his hands as he usually does. And then next to him,
he's
in
deaf.
this little in this little mini circle here is a short dwarf woman. This is the COO of Initiatech, Charity Coinbane. And she's got a power suit, shoulder pads, stern expression, just like, looking like a short square, with her hair tied back. And you can tell she's got her arms crossed as Lazuli talks her ear off. And then not quite as engaged with the two of them, but still standing in this center area that's clearly different than the rest of the employees. You guys only know him as the director of Abjura Labs, which is a division of Initiatech, but none of you have any sort of experience with that. This is a tiefling, sort of older looking tiefling. He's got the pointy beard and horns, this very just natural glaring look to him, always too serious. This is Xerxes Andros, and none of you have had much interaction with him at all, perhaps Spike on a rare occasion. He looks like he's annoyed and angry at all of this as he kind of just surveys the room. But as you guys kind of, like Kooper, you can fiddle with the controls here, and you're like, surely you can get more than just a view, and eventually figure out how to activate the audio on this scrying spell. And you focus it a little bit. And while most of the employees and the guests are just speaking in like really hushed tones, Kuotoa just standing at guard, it makes it actually possible to hear the execs as they talk. And you even catch that, like right as you're able to get the audio working, that Lazuli lowers his voice as Coinbane gives him a look, and he's getting frustrated. All three of their hands are bound with these like magic cuffs, and he's kind of, when he talks with his hands, it's like waving them in unison. And you hear him over this little feed go, "Why don't we just use what's his name? The Bravi kid. The whole reason he's here. Let's use the Peri method and offer him up and get out of this. We're wasting time. This is foolish." Coinbane just kind of like scoffs and is just like, "You really think they're going to accept a single sacrifice? They're mad at the whole company." Lazuli's just like, "They're all fanatics. They worship this idiot they just discovered. Of course they'd love a sacrifice. They would go for that in a heartbeat. And if not, we'll throw in a few more. The point is we need to get out of here." And as Andros just kind of, like he's listening, but he doesn't really want to weigh in, Lazuli just kind of turns to him and he's like annoyed that this guy's not even answering him or responding. "Andros, what is happening with the octopi? What was the point of them if they're not coming to our aid?" And Andros, not changing expression, is just like, "They're not responding to their signal commands. Something's likely interfering." And as Lazuli just throws up his hands, which are still bound, preventing any sort of magic, just kind of looks around and begins to, you see him just like, not even hiding it, pointing at various employees like, "Okay, well, which other ones could we use?" And then they kind of realize, oh, we are talking loudly, and go back to much quieter tones. You're not able to hear them anymore.
Did you guys hear something about the Peri method?
Oh, I am stuck on the Peri method.
Yeah, gotta be some kind of like new corporate strategy.
Well, you know what it is, don't you?
No, but it's probably like a surprise for me. Like, they're finally like getting me involved in upper management. Do you guys think that's what that is?
I think it might be getting you involved, sir, but I can't help but notice they kept using the word sacrifice after.
I didn't love hearing the word sacrifice.
Yeah. I don't suppose that it could really be anything good. My gut's not telling me that they're looking to promote you so much as, send you as a sacrificial lamb here.
You think that is the plan? You think that?
I mean, I don't want to be on record speaking ill of the higher ups at the company, but I can only tell you what my 2 ears heard in my third ear that's growing on the back of my neck.
I mean, it might be that management requires lots of sacrifice, less time at home, longer hours.
Right. It's like the good kind of sacrifice. Like, if you want to move up in the world, you have to be willing to give up something.
Mm-hmm. And what do you suppose, though, they meant by, they might sacrifice someone else, though?
Well, it will sacrifice, like, my time, maybe.
That sounds about right with this company. I like that thinking, Peri.
Thanks. I feel better. I was worried for a second, but, I think this is probably good.
We're like a family here. It must mean time and effort.
Well, they did say something about sending them octopi as well.
Yeah, it seems like maybe we destroyed some of our own tech there. So,
look, guys, I took a long look at that tech. That is not Initiatech. I'm sure of it.
Okay, does anyone want to roll a history check or anything like that, just based on what you sort of overheard or witnessed. Any thoughts coming to your mind, or perhaps context you might draw from your work experience?
Oh, I'd like to take a quick history check, I think. How's a 9 do?
Everything looks up to par. Those are people that you have delivered letters to. You do recognize everyone there. Some of the less familiar faces are just more of the plus ones that you all brought along with. You've probably shook some hands earlier this week, but nothing too odd about anything in there yet.
Well, nothing's sparking in my mind, but I just really can't help but feel like maybe this isn't the good thing that you two are talking about. I don't want to talk out of line or anything like that, though.
It's a collaborative space. It's we got to value everyone's opinion. It's tough that ours are super different right now about this, but thank you for being comfortable enough to speak up.
You create such a great work environment. It's easy to feel comfortable in here. Some of us perhaps feel too comfortable in our place in Initiatech.
I can definitely see that. But I've learned from the best that a Clark guy, that's the CEO. Yeah, him. We're pretty close. I rolled a 19 on my history.
Peri, you definitely, maybe you're trying to present yourself as humble in a weird roundabout way, but you absolutely know who. You're quite familiar with Chark Lazuli, the CEO of Initiatech, and probably
Chark, of course.
Wish you hung out with him more.
I do wish that.
You, however, are not at all familiar with the third exec that you saw in that little huddle, and can still see up there on the security bubbles. But the tiefling, the
Gotcha.
sort of stern-looking tiefling, it just you don't run into him even when you do manage to stumble your way into an executive meeting.
Yeah, well, not everyone's the lifeblood of the company.
True.
God damn it, the lifeblood of the company.
I love a barbarian really putting in work to a 19 history roll and just moving on.
Getting nothing out of it.
I'm looking through. Did we know that they were the director of Abjura Labs, or is that just information that I know, but Don Donaldson doesn't, since he got a 9 on his history?
I think I said it, but you do know, and I believe actually everyone here but Peri is aware of Xerxes Andros.
Okay.
So yeah, in that you can list his title and probably nothing else about him, but yeah, you'd kind of be aware of who that is.
I do know that I'm unfamiliar with the Abjura Labs department, and that it seems that it requires tier 1 security clearance. That Tieflin fella, the head of Abjura Labs, I once saw some sort of weird letterhead that mentioned some sort of special project there. Maybe that's related to the Peri plan. It was the V3 project. I don't know.
Perry's glazed over at this point.
Sorry, I had to get some of that ink out of my throat. I think I got it all, though. I think I'm feeling much better here with my
You sound much
voice
better.
here. Thank you. Yeah, I got that was quite some nasty stuff in there. I'm gonna roll history check on that one.
All right.
That would be a natural 1 for a 1 on my history check there that Spike rolls.
Spike, you've never heard of the V3 project and have never really had to engage with Abjura Labs. A lot of your work for the company is sort of outward problem solving, and they don't seem to run into problems. But yeah, you don't know anything about that.
Yeah, sorry, kid. I don't know anything about this V3 stuff that you're speaking of.
Well, what would a 16 from HR get me?
Kooper, you are perhaps, again, no one really knows Jura Labs truly what that means. But as head of HR, you kind of bump elbows with the top brass more often. They also come to you to, send down new policy and things like that. And, well, maybe the other employees you're partying up with aren't super aware that this happens, but you have an ability to survey the company, much like the security systems in front of you in this little room, and your abilities end at Abjura Labs. You've got a magical access to what's going on in basically every little corner of the company to keep an eye on employees, but you've never been able to magically see or get past the abjuration magic that prevents divination and such from looking into Abjura Labs. And perhaps you've always assumed that that's simply being covered by someone else, but they are sort of exempt from the scrying eye of HR, if you will.
Yeah, it's always confounded and frustrated me that I can surveil most of the company and know what's going on, and it's just a big blind spot over Abjura Labs. But just based on the name alone, it's probably hush-hush to protect me and the company. It's clearly some kind of abjuration department.
Now, but they were just talking about those octopus monsters, right, that attacked us. So I just don't know if I could personally stand on the position that what they're doing is a good thing or for the good of the company, if they're kind of creating these sort of horrific monstrosities that are, attacking us.
Well, sure, but would a good company do a bad thing? I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
I'm sorry, the horrific monstrosities, just to recap, you are... What kind of being are you?
Well, I'm just a normal simic hybrid, former human.
But you've got like the tentacle there, and you've got some different parts there, right?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't call myself a monster, unless you get me out of bed, before I've had my 8 hours and I haven't had my coffee yet. Then I can be a bit of a monster.
All right, just okay.
Everyone's got different bodies. I'm not commenting on yours, snake man. All right.
If your ideal form has a few aftermarket parts, no harm, no foul.
Kooper, maybe are you gonna be? You're probably not gonna be writing much of a HR report about us, destroying the company property with these octopi. That's nothing that needs to be written down, you think, right?
I mean, I think the spin on that is how we've primarily been focused on protecting company assets this entire time. And it's a net gain from my perspective.
Wonderful. Net gain.
I'm assuming
I like
we
that.
survive.
I suppose, if nothing else, we're bringing them Peri for the Peri plan. So it was good that we were able to escort him here.
That is good. That is a good thing. Yeah.
I'm glad you're finally coming around on this, Don. It's good to have you guys in my corner.
I just am here to help support the Initiatech Foundation, and you're key to that foundation, sir. So if you're convinced, then I have no choice but to go along with
You're
that.
a good guy, Peri. You're a good guy. And he slaps his back.
Geez. Perry's trying not to get emotional. This is real outpouring of support. It's not something he gets a lot.
Oh, well, after, Jesus, the whole party's all in on the Peri plan. I love to see the team working together. After that little team meeting you guys have, a few unanswered questions, possibly you'll simply have to circle back on that stuff, but that's enough to get you guys feeling rested and energized. You will count that as a short rest. Which, you usually take at least once a day. I think you're legally required to, actually. So probably best that you did that.
Company mandated short rest.
Yeah, you can get in trouble with the state if you're not giving those.
I guess, yeah.
It's just best we do it. And
for the short rest, yeah. It's Spike looks at the ring on his hand and his finger that's slowly tiny, like kind of regrowing there at that nub. But he has a ring of rejuvenation, which every 10 minutes gets him more hit points as his magic item. So if this is a short rest, how many minutes is this that he gets to regain hit points?
I would say we'll call it a mechanical short rest, so it'd be an hour and
nice.
6 of those.
Cool. 6d6 I get back.
On top of
Okay.
what else you got? Yeah.
Cool.
Spike's feeling healthy.
My ring of rejuvenation. You see the cuts, along this snake body that's taken damage heal up like in a, self-healing lizard-like fashion. I don't know how fast my finger has really healed back at this point, but maybe it's
I think you got like mostly functionality. Like it's got like sort of fresher. It's definitely like a hue lighter than your other fingers. No calluses and stuff like that. But like at this point, you can grip normally. It's all there. The knuckles.
Look at that! It's working. Here we go. Look at that.
The Simic hybrid with 10 arms grimaces at the sight.
Ooh.
Yuck. Yeah, everyone agrees.
That just looks like it must really smart there. The nail's not even grown back yet. That must have been a real pain.
No, it actually doesn't feel too bad when it grows back. A little bit of itching there, but it works pretty good. Just glad the ring is snug on the rest of the part of that ring, that finger. Don't want that to slide off, but
it's crazy. I tell you, when I grew my 2 extra pinky toes, it hurt like the dickens. So that's just fortunate for you that it doesn't hurt.
Well, with nothing left to do but carry on, you have this little side door leading to a second floor hallway. This is back into the public area of the aquarium. You can already notice that, the second floor still murky, covered in barnacles and other sort of undersea materials, but it doesn't seem quite nearly as, dingy and dark as the first floor had been. There's occasional natural lighting eking in through the crystal ceilings around this area, though it's still quite grim compared to what the aquarium must have looked like before. And out in this hallway, as you're facing back towards the central part of the aquarium, the entrance, what you saw from beneath when you first walked in is this water bridge, like a vortex spinning across the second floor, extended up above the first floor. And this is a sort of fun attraction for patrons to get to the other exhibits on the in the left wing of the aquarium. And this sort of magic doesn't seem to be relying on too much technology or anything like that. And you just see what you're basically facing, a whirlpool that sort of you'd think will launch you in the other direction.
Sounds fun. Let's do it.
Harry's ready to dive in. Is he taking
go.
point as he has been so far on this adventure?
I think so. He's feeling as confident as ever. So.
Okay. So this is you recognize this as magic. This is a public educational sort of facility. You're not expecting anything too hazardous. So your safety concerns are pretty low right here. But how does Peri enter the water bridge whirlpool in front of him?
I think he would take a unnecessarily large jump, because he can. It's just sort of like a natural thing. But feet first. That's the safe way to swim through rapids or jump into whirlpools. I think that's the move.
Insightful for Peri. You treat it like a long jumper, trying to get his feet as far across the sand as possible and just extend forward. And the rest of you watch as Peri leaps into the whirlpool bridge and is immediately spun in a spiral and shoots off across the way, quickly disappearing from your view as the water tunnel is not too easy to see through. And you hear a "what?" and then too far away to hear as he shoots through it like one of those. They still have those things at banks where you like put a little thing in a tube and it goes up the,
My bank
Cool
does.
banks do, yeah.
the pneumatic thing. It's like
They call them Augustus Gloop tubes, I think. Is what the official name is. Yeah.
The rest of you follow? Any hesitation?
No hesitation. I guess we got to follow Peri. He's pivotal to the Peri plan, whatever it might be.
They never can just do a normal bridge in these places. It's always got to be some frickin' whirlpool, vertigo-inducing, and he jumps in. He goes through it.
I just knew that I should have taken the gills as my Simic hybrid feature, but it seemed too perfect, so I didn't. Darn. Yeah, I'm just hopping in too.
It is so stressful to Kooper that y'all are just hopping in. He has been frantically scanning an employee handbook looking for something for this kind of occasion and not finding it. I just take a deep breath, jump in, and withdraw into my shell as soon as I can.
Nice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Initiatech
Jealous.
is not one of those cool modern startups that has a slide that takes you from the top floor to the bottom.
Thank
Cooper's
goodness.
unfamiliar with this sort of novelty. But the shell's a great way to do it. You get there smoothly and safely. Peri is the first to eject, if you will, and Peri, you sort of naturally land on your feet, and you find that your momentum is sort of magically controlled for you. You were probably ready to just, at the speed you're moving, you think, what am I launching into? But it just very neatly slows your G-force and stuff, not jarring at all, and you naturally step out onto the floor on the second floor of the left wing. This is immediately clear as, similar or close to the space you were looking at through the security feed. That was the low tide pools, little places to go look over, maybe even touch the water and stuff like that. So you have this, again, lighter, some more green than dark blue aura around you, and occasional natural light seeping in through ceilings that aren't completely covered and things like that. So you've got a little better visibility here. And as soon as you land, you realize you hear voices off to your left. It's a bit more open plan up here. But the space in front of you kind of splits off in two directions. And to the left, you hear plenty of hushed voices and some muttering and things like that.
Is there any natural place to duck behind cover in the near term while I wait for the others to take the bridge?
Yeah. There's some areas in here in this sort of right in front of you. Again, the creatures have kind of vacated or like receded to the back. And this specific tank directly in front of you has a lot of like kind of murky, seaweed and things like that, as opposed to the clear, deep blue water from the other side. And to the left of that is where these tide pools kind of start. So you've got almost literally, to put it in 5e terms, half cover, or you to crouch behind a short, fake, rocky little ledge there. You can tell that like there's weird, natural, real, pieces of earth that have grown upon the walls, and this little tide pool in front of you is just fake, decorative, whatever you plaster, whatever they make it out of. But yeah, there's little pools sort of leading towards the noise, so you can move kind of confidently towards that space.
Cool.
With expecting to be able to just sort of duck down behind a little wall.
Sounds good.
Are you moving up right away?
I'll definitely move up and just try to be as stealthy as I can, but get the bearings before it gets more crowded behind me.
Well, before it gets more crowded behind you, why don't we have you roll a stealth check?
That is a 15.
Okay, pretty good. Yeah, you're light on your feet. You react quickly. You move kind of staying low to the ground and just get up along one of these little ridges and peek around into a larger room where immediately you can see most of them sort of sitting down, even leaning up against some of these tide pools, are the employees of Initiatech. And in the gaps between tide pools are Kuo-toa warriors holding their staves and shields and such. And standing in the middle, the tall figures of CEO Lazuli, director of Abjura Labs, Andros, and then a shorter figure of Coinbane, the dwarf COO. That's when the rest of the party, sort of one by one, but a little closer together, have that sort of strangely easy time of exiting the water bridge. You're not wet, and it's all magic. How about that? And you touch down neatly to see Peri sort of already mostly across this sort of entry room and ducking down behind a little wall in the direction of the voices that you can all sort of start to pick up.
Successfully stealthy, we immediately see Peri standing over her.
The cover's from the other side.
He's got full. You see a Harangon just peeking over a ledge, and do all of you join him immediately, or does anyone take any sort of immediate actions?
Spike has his eyes closed, taking a deep breath, trying to get his bearings after he whipped through that whirlpool. So he's just.
Yeah, little kids are immune to that, but that's a little rough for Spike.
I think that honestly, Don just has a huge grin on his face. He loves the water park, you know? Like, this is a great time.
I struggle to imagine Kooper's not motion sick a little bit.
Peri has that youthful energy that can only be maintained by not doing a lot of work.
True.
So he's unfazed by the tunnel. Yeah, as you guys kind of like shake it off, I mean, again, magically touched you down so easily. It didn't, not a lot of physical exertion, but just the disoriented feeling of being spun around kind of delays your reactions a bit, and make your way really quietly over to where Peri's very clearly hiding from something. But Peri, as you kind of pick up that party has joined you and are taking their time getting closer, you see Lazuli, the CEO, still with his wrists in these magic cuffs, kind of turn his attention to someone outside of the circle of employees now. And as you try to strain for a better view further into this room, you can't see, a large figure walks into frame and accompanied by more Kuo-toa. And this figure is sort of deceptively tall, and as Kuo-toa kind of allow for your sight to see more of him, he appears to be floating a few feet off the ground. So of course his height is sort of, magically enhanced, but he's still a pretty large thing. And he's got a large round face of like a toad or a frog, green body, reptilian hands and things like that. And he's wearing a vest over flowing robes, and around his head is like a head wrap that sort of mirrors ocean waves, sort of like in a constant spiral, like a gentle magical effect. And as he floats, he sort of floats over the same thing, just sort of swirling gentle waves that seem to only exist immediately beneath him. And this creature strikes you as, very magical in its nature. You can, I think you'd all eventually get a read on him and be able to see as you catch up. So everyone can do a nature check on this. I'd say nature or arcana. They're both intelligence based, but if you have one or the other for any reason.
Don's kicking things off great with this nature check with a nat 1 for a 2.
Oh boy, okay.
Yeah. Really
Yeah,
just...
it looks like a big frog.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. At that thing over there, and I'm just kind of looking at one of the like plaster tide pools and stuff. Looking at this guy.
You're looking at like a cartoon frog that's like in the shallow water. Kooper, what'd you get?
Kooper's running with an 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the other two? What did you other roll?
Spike
Otherwise,
got a
Kooper.
natural 20.
Dang.
Peri got a 10.
Okay. Kooper, you're kind of putting it together that this creature is of, again, magic in essence that's obvious to all of you, but this is his fashion and the way he's sort of specifically floating and sort of carrying himself. He almost has like, he's floating but seated, and you've just got this aura about him. He sort of strikes a commanding presence while being very serene in a way. And you're getting the sense that this is like part monster in the D&D term and part djinn, sort of an elemental magic to him with the water swirling around him. Spike, you've perhaps dealt with stranger magics than the others here in your dealings with patrons and all that. And what you immediately notice as this figure steps forward, even the way the CEO reacts to him and the employees who kind of look down, and the other Kuo-toa, this is a revered figure, and this is a clearly the creature that the Kuo-toa worship and exalt. This is their leader, and Kuo-toa to be very fanatical, passionate about a single cause sort of creatures. And so to them, this creature is a walking god in their presence. And you've heard of such things and probably think it's something called a Merid. And as you observe it come forward, you see that Chark Lazuli is already, talking. And as you guys kind of settle in and try to listen in as the crowd hushes from this revealing of this figure, you can better hear Chark as he projects over the group. Okay, let's make a deal. We've got the person you're looking for. We know who's responsible. We'd like to offer him up to you as our clear admittance that any wrongdoing that has happened to you or your people here is the source of one individual, and none of us here are responsible. We would happily allow you to enact the proper justice.
Peri's feeling really great. He's like excited to get to the bottom of this and find out who's to blame.
I'm gonna
Don's
cut 1
just ready,
second.
putting his hand on Peri's shoulder. Just Peri, as the mailman here, I feel it's my duty really to deliver this news to you that this isn't gonna go well. This isn't what you think. I have a feeling you're about to be scapegoated, pal.
I'm not sure I understand. Like, how would they choose to blame me for this? Or like, I don't, Initiatech's always had my best interests.
But as we all know, in Initiatech, we protect the company, more than anything. And they might just assume that you're such a dedicated employee that you'd be willing to take the hit in order to, satiate these beasts. And maybe you are, sir, but I can't help but think that perhaps we should not allow you to be sacrificed.
Yeah, that would be unethical.
I'm of two minds. It seems like maybe it would be best if I died, but you guys don't think so. Which I have to be honest with you, I'm really tempted to go along with what you guys are saying.
Well, let's, we could be wrong about this whole thing. Why don't we just let this continue to play out as if, uninterrupted by
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Merid creature takes a very long and sort of thoughtful pause as Lazuli offers this solution, and you guys confer, and eventually he speaks, and the Kuo-toa all sort of do their little like guttural noises as he raises his hand to talk, and then sort of silence them at the same time. And he's like, "Then where is this sacrifice? The individual responsible. Present him to me." And Shark, even at this distance, you can kind of see him. He's sweating. His whole vibe is someone who can lie professionally, but while he's standing there sort of powerless, he's just you can tell he's like, oh, well, cool. Yeah, I walked into that one. I've been told we have regained some of our security and perceptions over the aquarium, and he is due to be arriving with a few other of our beloved employees of Initiatech here any moment. And when he does, he's all yours. And the Merid sort of looks around and kind of sizes up the executives and stuff. And this, you see Andros just stern glare. Doesn't have any respect for this, magical entity he's speaking, that's speaking to them. And Coinbane is a little bit more cautious and just trying to get a read and doing those sort of fast calculations of like, oh, how do we get the best deal out of this interaction kind of thing. And they just look slimy, like the three of them up there. And this, the Merid is just kind of reading them, and he goes, I do think that my Kuotoa would have loved to prop up an individual on the stake, do a ceremony, sacrifice him to me, and solve this whole problem. They'd love it, and perhaps we'll find some way to accomplish that later. But I don't believe that a single individual could have done what you have done here. As a group, as an authority, I am one powerful individual, but you function as a single unit and have wreaked havoc upon the world around you as a result. And Shark just kind of like, as he's kind of seeing his plan fail, Peri, you sense this is your moment to step up and be a human sacrifice if you should so choose, or any of you to do anything else in this moment. And Shark is about to, pull out his backup plan, but you sense a pivotal moment here if any of you have a move.
You see, whatever you're about to do, please do it. But you see Peri straighten his tie, and you can tell he's about to stand up.
This is hard. I think Don would speak up can I get a vibe on if the leader's vibe is like he's gonna kill everybody in this room right now based on that speech that he just gave? Not our leader, but the Madrid or whatever.
Yeah, the Merid. Give me an insight check. Give me an insight check with advantage. You are like just observing a.
Wow. I don't think I'm gonna need it because I got a 25 on the first roll. So just based on this being's energy and the way that this, like, whether or not you in this moment love the company, you know that Lazuli could just talk his way around anything and, overpower people in negotiations. Like, that should be his strength. And to see him sweat, and you see this moment where he's clearly about to be like, I got nothing, let's pull out the big guns. And to see this creature just sort of almost like regard this elf as like a joke. Yeah.
You don't think that the Merid is in any sort of like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like execute. It's probably that old turtle's fault who's like knitting to keep her hands doing something. Just looking at the three in the middle, and especially the CEO, is like, yeah, no, you guys are the jokes.
He's holding them responsible, not everybody here responsible. Okay,
absolutely.
Okay, I don't feel as much pressure to stand up and say something.
Cool, I'm going for it.
No, I mean, hold on there. Hold on. Yeah, pull him down there.
Yank him down. Someone looks and Kuotoa turns.
Excuse me, Mr. I'm so sorry. My beautiful Mr. Jinn creature. I don't believe I caught your name back there.
You would have. I guess you would have all put together that this is the infamous Drid that was mentioned by.
Of course, I have it written doan right here.
The Kuotoa, who probably just mispronounced Merid at some point.
Gotcha.
His name's not Drid Merid?
It is now, but like,
okay.
It was just like, was Drid part of it? I mean, who knows?
Oh, wise and noble Drid, is it? I am so sorry to interrupt your conversation, but I actually have Peri with me right here, right? I've been listening to everything that you folks have been talking about, and I can't help but feel you might be spot on the money, though, because Peri here, he's not the noble sacrifice that you're looking for. Initiatech is a great company, and we do all work as one, like you just suggested, but we're a company that works as one serving a bad head, I think, a bad limb. And as somebody who's got far too many limbs, when you got a bad one, you gotta sever that limb. Don't punish all the rest of them, the good ones, for a bad.
Please excuse my subordinate employee. This guy works in the mail room, Mr. Drid. Do not regard him as an authority. This is the employee I was telling you about, the one responsible. Peri, come on, attaboy, get on up here. As Shark just tries to steamroll you in this situation.
I think Peri is gonna walk up and sock Shark in the jaw. Because he's grown to have tremendous respect for Don Donaldson, and is not about to take this from this guy. I think for the first time ever, he's gonna do something that is not trying to get Shark's approval.
Incredible. I'm gonna give Kooper and Spike just an opportunity, because you have to. I'm letting you stride on over, but
in the walk
Kooper,
up, yeah.
Kooper and Spike have any sort of opinion on what's about to go down, they can get a chance to make a move, or I guess attempt to stop you. We'd probably have to roll for that. But,
so Spike is observing this at this point. He's observing what's kind of happening. So he's watching as you maybe walk up to go and smack the guy. So
yeah, Spike doesn't seem like the sort to leap to defend the management here. That's for sure.
He's got a inquisitive look about all of this and is interested to see where this goes.
Okay, Kooper, you
There's an assumption that the C-suite that I'm observing, they are the company in some ways. Maybe in a lot of ways. Maybe in ways in ways I don't agree with. But even so, I don't think I could let anything bad happen to them willingly, considering my oath.
Give me a wisdom saving throw, Kooper, as you grapple with your professional responsibilities.
I'd like to just think I had poor insight into Peri, but my wisdom saving throw is a 25.
Oh my god. Kooper, you sort, you're putting two and two together, and have you dealt with assault against senior employees by other employees at the office? Probably not.
Never. I don't know which form that is.
Yeah, you dread the day you have to have a meeting about that. But as you kind of watch this, and your instincts are telling you, like, I can't allow this. It just doesn't make sense. You see that Don's announcement and Peri's, revealing himself to the group has, caused the other employees to kind of figure out what's going on, see the rest of you here. And you hear your sweet elderly roommate, Sandy, and she's sitting next to some other more terrified employees, and she leans over and she goes, "Oh, don't worry, darling. Humanoid Resources is here to take care of you. Ah, that's Kooper. That's what he does. It's all gonna be fine." And you feel this sudden conflict with, what you've signed NDAs for and all that. It's clashing with your, inner moral urge to look out for the employees, and you sense that maybe Shark is more willing to harm them than even the Merid is in this moment.
That's just toxic. That's gonna hurt the company in the long run way more than anything else.
That's true. All the dead employees, that's going to be harder to bounce back from.
Yeah, that's a lot of meetings and paperwork, if anything else.
If I can even think clearly after Sandy's speaking up and talking to me that way in public.
Yeah, you're held back. You realize, oh, that's not who I want to protect here. And Peri, you are, and the sheer ego of Chark means his hands are bound, sure, but he's not even lifting them to protect himself. You stride forward. Drid just kind of watches with a bit of an amusement, like, I think I have an idea of what's about to happen, and sock him in the face.
Yeah, as soon as I do that, I kind of like look surprised for a moment, and then I shake it off and I say, whew, okay, I'm actually kind of a nervous public speaker, and usually Torvald like briefs me on this kind of thing. But I guess I gotta go off the cuff a little bit here. You, sir, are setting a poor example as company leadership, insulting loyal employees, endangering all of these good people. Right now, I'm just doing what I think my grandpa Bravi would have done. And he often said that if diplomacy fails, you have to resort to violence in the boardroom. And while I think that's insane and is from a different era and we shouldn't behave that way anymore, it did feel oddly appropriate just now. But I'm also sensing from other upper management here a real lack of company spirit. I think you've lost sight of things, and it would be really helpful if my good friend Kooper were to, I think, reinvigorate all of us by listing the company's core values.
Peri, you are interrupted when Lazuli spits his own blood in your face. And his stunned reaction to getting popped, and he's got the blood in his teeth, his nose is bleeding, like you hit him hard, and it's never been done to him. And as he finally kind of processes what happens, spits back in your face. Your grandfather would have been disgusted by you. You're pathetic. You're here so that we have someone to throw to the wolves if it were ever to get that bad. Spike! And he looks to you, Spike. This is something you would have taken care of. What are you doing? And he just looks at you with disgust.
I take out my crossbow and I aim it over at Peri. And I hold it in my hands. Chark, you know we've been together for a long time with this company, all right? You know the things that I've had to do, and you know how close I am to retirement. But I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, and this boy Peri, he is an absolute nincompoop. And the truth is, I hate this company. I hate everything about it. And who gives a crap about a pension, retirement? All right, Madrid, Merid, whatever your name is. If you're looking for somebody who's gonna take over this company and not do weird shit like splicing up your octopuses or whatnot, Peri's your man. Peri's the guy who's gotta be in charge. All right, you're looking for a scapegoat. It's Chark, and I'm sick of it, Chark. And I'm going to pull this trigger at Chark.
Pyraxicon, close your eyes.
There's one mid-level manager. She works with the guy stuck in the tank back there or whatever. And she's listening to this and she's feeling inspired. And for a moment you go, Peri should be in charge. And she just kind of tilts her head like, should he though? And as she does, an arrow sails past her face. The bolt from your crossbow lodges into Chark's chest. He looks down stunned. Again, no one does this to him. As he falls back, he looks over at the dwarf, Charity Coinbane. She looks and nods. She pulls out her little sending stone from her pocket, flicks it open, and she says, Torvald, activate security. Do it. And when she relays this message, the lights go out And when I say lights, I mean the residual technology still working, the natural light coming in. The place is instant blackness again. This is not magical darkness that you can't see through, but sort of magical removal of other lights. Those of you with dark vision see in that moment that this power down that seems to happen everywhere in the aquarium causes the magic cuffs to fall off the wrists of the 3 execs. And just as the light is kind of coming back up and everyone kind of has a second to look around to see what happens, you can see that the 3 of them are already in ritual. 3 of them have held their arms up together, Chark's still bleeding and a little lower on one side with the bolt still in him. And as they say this ritual in this moment, Marid looks at them and realizes, looks left and right, holds his hand out to try to cast some sort of counter magic, and suddenly a wave of water emanates out of nothingness from the back of the room and immediately slams into the group as it engulfs the room in water. Behind you, the space that sort of leads back to the entrance of the aquarium, that natural overgrown rocks and such, explodes under the water from pure pressure, and this rush of water pulls all these Kuotoa, every employee of Initiatech. It hits the 3 of you who didn't step up over to Lazuli last as you are caught in this wave, and the room fills with water instantly and starts rushing out back towards the center of the aquarium. Kooper, you instinctually, shell up. You see Sandy do the same and sort of keep one arm out to hold tight to another employee and protect them as you're all sort of hurtled through the water. Spike, you are pulled off your feet once again. That motion sickness and stuff kind of coming back feels like the tunnel, but you feel somewhere in the deep water rushing is a tentacle pull your leg. And as it pulls on your leg, it pulls you upright, and you're now in this swimming position where you can see where you're headed and, not just tossed around upside down by some sort of strange entity. Don, your many arms stabilize you as you try to avoid bumping into walls as you're rocketed down hallways. You just find yourself bumping into other employees, and each hand's getting filled up with another shirt from some Initiatech employee.
I hope I've got like a bunch of employee badges like wrapped around like the wires that hold on.
Yeah, just the lanyards are all just hanging on. And Peri, you tumble over and you see Chark gets hit as well. Like it's just, this was the Hail Mary that hits them too. And as he sort of tumbles around and he sees you underwater, he throws a blast of some sort of just attack spell at you. He's not even really thinking too hard to maybe make you do a save or anything like that. You take the blast and you realize like it doesn't even hurt that much. And as you guys are sort of rocketed around back towards the entrance, all of your boons are going to activate for this final encounter. The Peri plan was not carried out to success, so all of you managed to be still together as a party. So Spike, your company crossbow attacks now feature the agonizing blast invocation, so you can add your charisma modifier to those hits, even if it was already whatever you were already adding. Go ahead and add your mod to the damage.
Wow.
Don, you've got quite a lot of hands and a great grip, and you're using them to help employees and stuff. Your unarmed strikes, when using Flurry of Blows, you can now use 3 of them instead of 2 whenever you use a key for Flurry of Blows.
Nice.
Peri, as this blast of cold energy strikes you, you've perhaps experienced a sense of responsibility for the first time in your life, and have also gained a resistance to cold damage. And Kooper, your oath is no longer to the company. Your oath is to the union because you are the head of the employee union of employees of Initiatech. And you have a +1 to a weapon attack, spell attack rolls, and spell DC as long as all 4 party members are conscious. So +1 to everything. Okay. You all sort of right yourselves in the water, make sure no one's drowning or getting dragged behind. You feel it sort of, your speed slows as you sort of recognize you crash out into the entrance hallway, and the water level lowers as it spreads across the open room. It doesn't seem to be continuing to filling this space. Your feet are in about a foot of water here. Employees are sort of coughing and standing up and looking around, and Pyraxicor Khan, the junior eviscerator, whatever his name is.
Pyraxicon the Eviscerator Jr.
Yeah, he and Sylvester. And Sylvester's just got like, he's trying to like imitate this cool, tough guy he made friends with. They're like already like escorting employees to the exit. And as you all sort of kind of make sure everyone's okay and do the same and look around, the 4 of you look upwards and you see that the skeleton of the dragon turtle that is suspended above in the entrance hall of the aquarium looks down at you as it turns its head. And bits of ice begin to crystallize around its joints as it starts to move, and it breaks off of the wires that suspend it as it starts to turn and direct itself towards all of you. It comes alive in a sense as something animates this dragon turtle skeleton, and as it rotates in the air, now flying on its own accord, little bits of ice crystals growing on its bones, it opens its bone jaw wide and exhales a magical steam breath at the 4 of you. So I'm going to need you all to roll a con saving throw and an initiative roll while you're at it.
Oh, do I have any way to help with a con saving throw as a monk? I didn't roll very well on either of these things that you've asked me for. I rolled a 9 on my Constitution saving throw and a 6 for my initiative.
Okay.
I am so glad I get a +8 to my con saves because I rolled a 11.
Ooh.
Total with the bonus.
Yeah.
And a 4 for my initiative.
Oh, total with the bonus. Sounds terrible.
4.
A 4? You're going, wow,
Yeah.
I can't believe that. Okay.
Spike got a 15 on his con save and a 23 on his initiative, a natural 20.
Peri got a 14 on the con save, and his initiative is an 11.
Well, I'm just going to say it. Folks at home will love to know. The dragon turtle skeleton rolled a 2 on initiative.
Nice.
So it's going last. It's just the lair action once again.
That's awesome.
Spike quick off the jump, then Peri, I believe. And then Don not last. Kooper, this won't matter too much once I explain what's going to happen, and the dragon's initiative is pretty convenient for this. Okay, you guys are all hit by this steam breath, and I somehow rolled so many 1s. So you're lucky that the first one ain't so bad.
Wait, before you fully explain this, just in case, I have an aura of protection. And if I am conscious, the friendly creatures
absolutely.
around me get a +5 bonus to all saving throws. So please factor that in.
Yes. Okay, I think
throws.
Yeah.
Same again. I believe a couple of you passed now for sure.
Sorry, I would have a 14 total now.
Okay. Coop, what was yours? Was still low? Because you add your own aura.
We're moving from an 11 to a 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, okay. So, Don,
Yeah?
unfortunately, that didn't help you enough.
All right.
I believe it moved literally everyone else over the threshold into a save. And I rolled such bad damage. Just really embarrassing. So that's going to be 20 fire damage. The steam is hot.
Ow.
That's bad.
If you save, you half that to 10, and 10 cold damage. If you save, you half that to 5. Peri, you revert that all the way down to 2.
Amazing.
That was bad rolling.
Resistant.
So okay.
Yes, it was very bad.
30 damage I just took.
Let's
Pretty bad
let's
rolling.
defeat the whole dragon turtle in one round, guys.
Yeah, I'd also vote for that.
So here's what's up. I'm going to explain something and you'll feel a little bit of relief and maybe a little bit of fear. I'm just going to tell you what I roll for the steam breath recharging. And I'm going to do it just right after I throw it for the next turn. I rolled a 5. Needs a 5 to 6 to recharge.
It's recharged.
It does have it again. But as you brace and this hot, cold magic steam washes over you, you notice that this animated skeleton is hardly a true dragon turtle. It's merely the, impression of one at this point. And there's also extra work being done to make it do things. So, this is a sizable foe. It is quite large. It is flying in the air, sort of hovering in front of you. It has a breath weapon and all that, but it's going to act once, and each of you are going to have 2 turns before it acts. So we will go through the initiative in the order of Spike, Peri, Don, Kooper, and then we'll go Spike, Peri, Don, Kooper before the turtle acts. It'll have his breath and its other actions. But you guys have more time to try to bring this thing down than it has chances to hit you.
Cool.
It just hits pretty damn hard.
Okay.
So you see that, you go, okay, wait, this thing isn't moving like, how a creature moves. There's something delayed about it. And as it sort of recharges itself, both in breath weapon and to simply do another thing, you all realize there's extra opportunity to strike. So we're going to start with you, Spike. It is your turn.
All right, Peri, we got a new Peri plan, all right?
Yeah, what is it?
Listen, I'm going to level with you. I've never met somebody so dumb and someone so qualified to be a CEO
Shark's
of the
worst.
company.
I agree.
All right? So we got to keep you alive, all right? Because this is your moment. And I'm going to... I'm gonna cast Shadow of Moil on myself.
Ooh.
And flame-like shadows wreathe my body and causing me to become heavily obscured to others. The shadows turn dim light within 10 feet of me into darkness, and bright light within 10 feet of me to dim light. So assuming it's bright light in here, it's kind of dim light now within 10 feet of me, and I am wreathed in shadows. So I am resistant to radiant damage, and whenever a creature within 10 feet of me hits me with an attack, the shadows lash out at that creature, dealing damage. But I am heavily obscured, so I get advantage to ranged attacks and disadvantage to get hit.
Copy.
So
Cool.
That is my action, and with a bonus action with my crossbow feat, I can do a crossbow hit and try to shoot at this guy. That is a bad roll. 12 to hit.
That'll miss. You watch.
Oh wait,
as
I
this-
have advantage. Sorry.
That's
I
true,
get
true.
advantage. So 17.
That is going to be enough.
Okay, cool.
And you fire at the giant skeleton flying around in front of you, and you realize you strike one of those, crystallized joints. It's almost like this cold magic is really what's allowing it to move. And you see it crack and split away a bit, and realize that's an effective way to damage it. And you do deal some damage to this.
So I did. So you said with this new thing, I get my charisma modifier. I can add on to it, even though I already add on my charisma modifier because I'm a hexblade. Cool. So that's a 9 plus an additional 5, so that's 14 points of piercing damage.
Sweet.
With the
bonus
crossbow.
action. Okay. For movement, I'm going to say, unless you are taking steps to, like you say, I want to be out of this thing's range, it can hit you wherever you are. If you're fighting it, if you're up close, you can hit it. It can hit you. If you want to leave, it's going to require movement to get back up in melee. Otherwise, I don't want to worry about it too much. You're all sort of in its area of reach.
Okay.
as it sort of
I'm
spins
gonna
around.
Yeah, stay there. I'm not gonna try to get out and invoke an opportunity attack, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll have another chance, but we are going to go in order each time regardless. Peri, you are up next.
Okay. Between him leveling a crossbow at me and the flame shadows, Perry's kind of terrified of Spike now, but is invigorated nevertheless. And we'll go into his first ever rage that is based on righteous fury instead of petulance. But he is going to sprint at this monster and bonus action rage and make some reckless attacks.
What happens when your ancestor shows up now?
Ooh, yeah, I don't. I feel like Perot Bravi is just. He's not a good man. But I think he's always brought out the worst in Peri, and I do think that at the same time he's kind of just got some real bloodlust to him. So at the moment it's encouraging. Hopefully he hasn't thought too hard about me punching the CEO, but he might also approve of that.
Yeah, Lazuli's kind of like a slick guy, you know? He's not classy. He's like new era CEO. And I think Grandpa's a little proud of me, and in the back of my mind I'm like, maybe not a good thing. Yeah. Your grandfather's pride is like, you punched the guy that adheres to those laws now that you can't harass people.
Right.
It's good that you punched him.
Wrong reasons, but I'll take it.
Go ahead and roll some attacks.
It's a 21 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. And it's going to be 13 slashing damage.
Okay.
With the rage. And let's attack again. That's a crit with the reckless.
Woo!
With the damage die doubled, that is 29 slashing.
Wow. Good opener.
It's my moment.
Peri, with this newfound righteous rage, you just go at one of the big meaty claws, in front of you and just start whacking at the ice and little joints and stuff like that, and like just break off a large claw immediately. This thing is like the size of your head, and you just chop it off.
He punctures both, each swing with a company, core value is just like integrity, diversity. Like he's just really feeling it. Let's do this.
I'm gonna need to learn what those words mean. Don, that's you.
Oh, all right. Does Don need to resummon his astral arms? I don't know how much. I mean, I guess I haven't technically had a chance to summon them. So I will use a bonus action to pull those bad boys out then for now.
Does he make a little save for that?
Is there? Oh yeah, that's right. There is a. Oh goodness. Well, while I'm looking into that, I also want to make sure that I make eye contact with Pyraxicon, seeing him helping other people out and give him 6 thumbs up, and a nod, good job. But I kind of sue him to go to safety as well. Yeah.
There's a brief moment where he drops the tough guy act. He looks at you and just sees someone but straight up fighting a dragon skeleton, and it's just hell yeah, and gives you a thumbs up back. And then that scoops
that
up.
Makes me feel great. I can also, since I have word of the spirit, I can whisper. I can make it so only one creature can hear me within 60 feet. So I'll say to him, "I'm really proud of you, bud, but you got to get out of here, okay?"
Totally, I will.
All right,
that's his voice. Totally, I will.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's Pyraxicon for sure. It's a Constitution DC 15 saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Think, right? Or am I looking
I rolled really
thing?
bad, but he's got a lot of add to that, so that's a 17.
All right, actually, it's a dexterity one. Sorry, is what I meant to say. Is that worse?
I don't add as much to that. It's a 14.
Oh, it actually fails it now, so he takes 2d6 of force damage.
I'm getting my bad rolls out early, you guys, so just be aware. What was the damage on that?
So he takes 5 force damage from that.
Okay.
From that activation, and then I will just do take my attack action, but rather than use my arms yet, I'm going to use my fancy quarterstaff of +1 in two-handed mode.
Sweet.
And that is the first one is a 26 to hit.
That'll hit.
Ooh, yay, 12 damage.
Wow.
And then for my second hit of my attack action, it is only an 11 to hit. So
That'll miss. Still getting good chunks of damage on him. That's going to go to Kooper next.
So, can I cast Find Steed as my action and summon Sunny D to my aid?
I think that sounds dope as hell.
How does Sunny D feel about being labeled as someone's steed?
I would not call Sunny D my steed, but I do want to act as a seamless unit with my new buddy. And so, like, I want to think about Sunny D and try to, like, call out to him telepathically. I don't know what form he shows up in.
You get the pink dolphin,
Yes.
but what perhaps you're maybe expecting, like, well, I've done steeds before, and you kind of expect to be maybe like horseback riding. Instead, you are immediately like lifted up and are standing on his back, and using this pink fey dolphin as a surfboard that has its its own ability to steer and stuff like that. And he just is like pops you up. You're immediately like lifted off the ground a bit higher, and he's just like, hell yeah, dude, this is sick. Thanks for considering me.
Sunny D, how's Tanner? Is he all right?
He's fine. The octopus are doing okay too. I've been kind of keeping an eye on him, letting him recover. I know you guys didn't mean to hurt him too bad. Whoa, what's up with and he just like speaks in this like deep speech, and you realize like that insane guttural clicking was the name of this turtle once upon a time. And Sunny D looks up and is just like, that's not how he's normally like, man. This isn't good.
Yeah, we got to get his mind right. And okay, so my goal is, I think I just spent my whole action, but I want to spend a lot of combat just zipping around, providing what assistance I can.
I want to ride a dolphin. I want to ride a dolphin.
Sweet.
I'm gonna look
Yeah.
real busy.
You're gonna have a turn before the turtle does anything too. So good to set something up. Anything else on that round?
I don't think on that round.
Okay, we are back to Spike. We'll go through it again, and then it is the turtle's turn.
Good.
Right, we'll do its stuff.
Spike's firing crossbows bolts as fast as he can and with advantage. First one is a 25 to hit.
Absolutely.
And that will be 15 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Second one will be 22 to hit.
Yep.
And that will be another 15 points of piercing damage. And then my bonus action, crossbow. Oh, I love this Shadow of Moil because I rolled a nat 1 on one of those and a 15 on the other. That's a 24 to hit and another 14 points of piercing damage.
Beautiful.
This extra +5 that I get from that boon is doing great for me.
Yeah, still chipping away. You're finding a large target, easy to hit, lots of room to land bolts in the right place. Powerful creature still winding up for another blast, but Peri, you've got a chance to keep swinging.
Let's keep that great axe working. Reckless attacks, a good thing too. That's a 28 to hit.
Yeah, it'll hit.
One of those was a nat 1. And it is 12 slashing damage.
Okay.
Go again. That's another crit with reckless attack.
Wow.
Wow. I am inspired.
Sick.
Caring about your job is just hitting stuff really hard. This rules.
And that was a 12 on the damage roll. That is
On a crit?
Yeah, on the D12. Oh, sorry, no.
Oh, on the 12. I see what you're saying.
The total damage is 33 slashing.
Jeez.
Good lord.
Okay, you guys have made a sizable chunk on a sizable HP pool. I'll tell you that. There's some
Compassion,
good damage
teamwork.
so far.
And that's it for my turn.
Okay, Don.
All right, Don is going. I'm feeling inspired by this bloodlust over here. I'm going all in on my attacks then. Let's see this new extra flurry of blows I got going after I take a couple hits with the quarterstaff first. The attack action. Ooh, 21 to hit.
Yeah.
Well, 5 damage on that. Second attack is only a 9 to hit. So not going to hit, but now we will flurry of blows. I've got my 2 hands on the staff, but then I got my astral arms that are going to start slapping at it at the same time. 12 to hit.
That's going to miss.
Unbelievable. I rolled a 2. A 9 to hit. And an 18 to hit.
18 will do it on your third flurry, thanks to that boon.
Woo, thank goodness I rolled a 1 on the damage again, so a 5. I had a whole image for how this attack could look. I'm not even going to waste describing it because it's so pathetic, man.
That's like the downside about a monk. Like, you really got to get leveled up high enough for the damage to feel good, because you're like, I can make like 7 attacks this turn.
Yeah.
Well, I did 4 damage on each of them.
I know.
So
I just wanted them all to hit. And
Right.
that's all.
okay, Kooper, back to you as Sunny D kicks off and propels you through the air.
I tell Sunny D to like get us up close to this thing, and I get ready my last 2nd level spell slot. I want to do Branding Smite again.
Okay,
14 for my first attack roll.
that's gonna miss. Are you adding your extra +1 from your
I
boon
am,
as well?
but that's okay. I have a good attitude, and second time's a charm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a 21 this time.
There you go.
All right, so damage is going to be 10, just bludgeoning damage from my Warhammer, plus the 2d6 of radiant damage, so that'll be 5 more. And this time, because I do want to interpret Branding Smite literally, a brand for the Union kind of projects off where I hit him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow, like a coat of arms has already been designed.
Yeah,
or
like 2
whatever.
hands shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it and I use one of my arms to take my hat off. And hold it.
One of it's like silhouette, graffiti style, but one of the hands is clearly like reptilian in nature, and the other hand is like some fur, bestial, like various humanoids shaking hands together. They're probably like, Don has both of those. You probably just subconsciously picked up on those. Yeah, I get a good smack on that. Does it have it stays like illuminated or something, right?
Yeah, I like to
Okay.
imagine like a little holographic is projected from the point of impact.
Yeah, this like light from this smite just like ripples across the bones and really shines quite nicely across this like ice forming on it and reflecting off of the crystal skylights and stuff. It's beautiful in here for a moment, and then it's gonna try to kill you.
Yeah.
Makes
Well,
makes
what
sense.
it can't do is go invisible. I'll tell you that.
Damn, that was my plan.
Now
You're
I
in a
won't
room.
lose sight of the giant slow moving
Yeah.
skeleton.
90% of this room is skeleton, and now it's invisible. Okay, Coop, I'm gonna do this just because I want to give you a hard time, and because, well, let's up the stakes a little bit because you guys went nuts on this this dragon.
You guys are freaking just Peri went sicko mode on this.
Yeah.
Really.
So Sunny D is moving you around, and you're trying to stay agile and stuff, and you can cover a lot of ground. But
Yeah.
for everyone to sort of have the room to swing a big axe and shoot crossbow bolts and wave all their arms around, everyone's not super clumped up. So you can pick 2 people to sort of provide your aura to for the breath weapon save, but wouldn't be able to sort of be that close to all 4 of you. And I'll just say whatever 2 you pick they happen to be standing next to each other to make it work. So who do you like the most here? Or like the
Oh,
least,
that's
I
not
guess.
a fair way to put it. Who
Take
might
it.
need the aid the most is how I want to think about it. Who's hurt? Anybody hurt?
It's our good friend Don.
I would
is
say,
the
I mean,
hurt one.
I don't want to insert myself into the conversation, but I did take 30 damage from the last breath weapon. I was the only one who failed it, so I might need the help.
And right after all that lay on hands, too. Like, you gotta be one of the two.
Yeah.
I can take it.
Yeah,
All right.
Peri, can like now resist this, or he seems to be pretty unfazed from part of the damage.
That's true.
And Spike would be able to just easily maneuver over to be close enough to gain your aura for the save.
On principle, I can't let anything happen to Spike. He's so close to retirement. Like, that bothers me.
You believe this is
okay.
happening on my last day?
Okay, so that is going to be another Constitution saving throw. The animated dragon turtle, it lurches forward as it has recharged its abilities, and in a sweeping motion, breathes a scalding hot steam across the floor in the direction of its attackers as its ultimate defense device for this building. And you can all roll that con save, while two of you do get the benefit of Kooper's aura.
Well, I'm thankful to have the aura, but I don't think I even needed it. I got 19 without it, so 24 with it.
What do I get with the aura?
Plus
An
5.
extra 5.
I have 14.
Oof. I can tell you from experience that doesn't save.
That does
my
not
friend.
gonna be good. Not gonna be good.
I'm blaming Sunny D for the morale boost here, but that's a 31 for me.
Oh my goodness.
And just because I love him and he's my design, and Sunny D doesn't make the save, it's just whatever.
Yes.
He's immune to fire and cold
I thought you were telling me he fails to save, and you broke my heart for a second.
I play with a paladin who loves using a kobold that summons like a dog and rides around with like 240 feet of movement, and then the first turn of combat, like, well, yeah, your dog had like 4 HP and failed to save, so you don't get that anymore. And then he's just really bummed. So, not gonna do that to him. Peri, what was your save?
Sorry, all my rolls are being weird again. That's a 21 with the aura.
Whew, okay, everyone saves this time except you don't have the aura. No aura for Peri. So did you add
okay, no worries.
There's 16.
It's a 17 actually. Yeah, I have a +6 to con saves.
Okay. 2 saves then, or no, sorry, everyone saves except Spike. Okay, the whole fire damage.
Ooh.
I rolled well this time. You'll half
good.
this if you save. Take the full damage, which is 27 fire damage.
All right. Ow.
I'm gonna use my reaction. Am I within 30 feet of Spike?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a spirit shield. Grandpappy Bravi looks right at you, Spike, and he says, "If you can't learn how to shake off 3rd-degree burns, you're never gonna make it very far in life. And you can reduce that damage by 2d6.
Okay.
That's a goddamn good advice right there. 7. Cool. I get 7 healing back. Nice.
Can I dogpile on that? Because I
think if
have
you have a
interception
reaction-
as a fighting style, and I'd like to mitigate
think
more
that's-
damage.
I think
For
that's just for
attack
an
rolls,
attack roll.
probably. Yeah.
Okay.
But you might get a
I'll
chance
never
to
use
use it.
interception.
There's a second half of this damage, right?
The turn is not over. The
Yeah,
second
there's
half
still
of
more
damage
to come.
There's a lot. Yeah, so okay. Fire damage was 27. If you saved, you're only going to take 13. Spike is going to take 7 minus the 2d6 he just rolled. The cold damage is going to be 16 cold damage. You can half that if you save or are resistant.
Okay.
That move that you did, Barry, that kept me up. That legitimately kept me up. Yeah. Cool.
I sure do wish these were
so,
dex saves and I took
I'm-
no damage from them instead.
So I don't think it's within. Is it? It's probably not within 10 feet of me, is it?
The dragon,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes. Like it's universally within range.
So if it hits me with an
you're all up
attack,
close to
is it hitting me with an attack then?
This is
Yes.
just a save. This is a breath weapon. It hasn't targeted you specifically.
Okay, so but whenever a creature within 10 feet of you hits you with an attack, then a shadow
just-
leaks out of that creature. So do I get to do that damage to it or no?
No, because it hasn't made an attack. It hasn't taken an attack action. This is like a separate action on its action. It's now going
I do
to
need
take
to make
attacks.
Okay, I have to make a con save real quick.
Yes.
With
if you can pass a
advantage.
con save, you might have your life
Oh
saved.
gosh, it's half the damage that I took.
Yeah,
that I
you
have to
took
save.
you took 16
27
and you
plus
took
16.
27.
Right.
What did you reduce it by again?
Seven
matters.
seven points.
Okay.
So 43 minus 7.
It's two it's one
rolls,
instance.
right? Oh yeah, because they're happening simultaneous.
It is one steam. It's just combined. So
Okay.
yeah, but you do
So-
reduce that by 7. So
What was the total? I'm not doing the
Be
calculation.
36 would have been the total, right, of damage that you took.
it's
So I
gonna
have
be
to
a
just
high.
roll. So I just have to roll an 18.
Just grit. Easy.
I've got an advantage on this roll.
I've been
with
doing
my,
it.
With
do it.
my
You can
feet.
do it.
Yeah, it's easy. Easy. 17.
Oh.
Wait,
The
you're still in
shadows
the aura.
drop.
You were
I
in
am
the aura.
You're
I'm
in the aura. That means you get plus 5
in
to
the aura.
all
Plus
save.
5.
Oh
Yes.
Incredible.
Cool.
You
The shadows
maintain
remain.
concentration on shadows, which means it's obscured and it's simply not going to attempt to target you. When
Okay.
it can see other things much more clearly, it will make some attacks against the other 3. It's got its
So-
bite.
Just because it is probably relevant. The Ancestral Protector, since I hit it on my round, if it attacks anyone but me, it does so at disadvantage. And if it hits them, they resist the damage.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Okay.
Jeez, we got some good aura
It is the main
stuff going on.
It is the main feature of this subclass.
That's good. It's got a huge attack bonus to hit, but resisting this damage is gonna be good. So let's see. Okay, bite, claw, tail. I'm gonna go in order
we
of
go.
initiative, starting with Peri.
BCT. By Claude.
Bite me. Let's go. I'm ready to jump in its mouth like any movie.
18 to hit on Peri.
You betcha.
That is gonna deal 21 piercing damage.
Ouch.
Oh.
But I get to resist that
Yes, you do.
because I'm raging.
Claw. Gonna go at Dawn
It's me.
as it swings out to get rid of the nuisance underneath it. Protect that soft underbelly shell. Gonna be a 23 to hit. Wait, disadvantage on this?
Disadvantage.
16 to hit.
That does not hit.
Just want to see what the damage was going to be. Oh, okay, 13. And the
Slap it
tail,
away.
the tail having a little bit more mobility, more reach, goes for this turtle surfing on a dolphin and swipes at you. Disadvantage, 18 to hit.
It does not.
The other roll is a
Grandpappy
27.
Bravi just like jumped up on this thing and is just like in front of one of its eyes, just like doing what he can.
Oh, that would have been 19 bludgeoning. All right, that was a huge way to survive the attacks of that. Like a huge counter to a lot of damage it could put out. Incredible. Let's see, just because it's fun to know what you're in for. Will the breath weapon recharge? 5 to 6. I'm rolling it in person.
For Spike's sake, let's hope not.
It's a 5.
Oh, you can tell when you hold it up to the camera.
Oh.
Now I know it's a 5.
Yeah, now the listeners know. That means it will have another breath weapon at the start of its next turn. but
Just
that's
kill
in
it.
2 rounds.
Oh, because we
Kill
You
it.
guys
that's still
Get-
is a
He's
thing.
so
Okay.
slow. We're so tiny.
because the
Nimble.
the magic in place design is this part of ultimate security system is not operating at its full capacity considering the situation the aquarium is in. As it begins to recharge, you see your opportunity to strike, and we'll start with Spike.
Okay, we're firing. We're firing as hard as we can. That's
kept
another
up the
nat
shadows,
1
you've got
and a
advantage.
16, 25 to hit.
25 will hit.
That was another nat 1 that I avoided there. 15 piercing on the first one.
Okay.
Second roll is a 25 to hit. And that will be 14 piercing. And then my bonus action firing is a 17 to hit.
17
that
hits.
will-
And I'll say right there, 17 is what you need to hit.
Okay. This one was only 13 points of piercing.
Only 13. Okay.
Only 13.
All right. It's looking hurt, chipping away at the ice. I'm going to say like you preserved the claw you chopped off. This is like a, treasured artifact, I guess. You don't want to destroy the skeleton. It's the ice you're damaging. That's how this works.
Gotcha.
After Spike is Peri,
Reckless
who is
attacks.
setting loose bones neatly to the side to be reassembled later.
Well, I don't know if that's what Perry's doing.
It's maybe Don's extra hands, like, let me scoot those out of your way.
For my attack, when he's hitting them, he's ripping the bones off, but he's wrapping them up in bubble wrap and packaging them so that they're safe and secure.
Safely sliding them across the floor.
It was a 17 to hit for 12 slashing.
Wow, only 12.
Yep. Lowest I can
Damage
go.
output might slow down if Peri doesn't crit a couple times.
Ooh, that was a 19 just now.
Oh.
But that's a 29 to hit for 18 slashing.
Okay, I spoke too soon.
And that is it.
Okay, Don, it's to you.
All right. This time, let's get some hits in. All right. I have rolled 2s on like half of my attack
twos.
rolls. I got a 9 on my first attempt to attack with the quarterstaff. I just rolled another 2. I cannot.
Unreal.
Do you need to like refresh D&D Beyond or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me clear my cookies.
Swap out the
on my
dice.
browser. I will.
Do you pay for
flurry.
Pro subscription or something? Maybe you want to bump it up.
I got if it's not premium, you only get 1 through 16 on the dice.
It's rolling a D12. I don't know if you knew that.
All right. I will try some flurry of blows, unarmed strikes. Unfortunately, I was going to ask, it won't apply because I won't be making weapon attacks, but is this thing susceptible to a stunning strike?
No, I'm going to say like it is not. It's also not. What I also took away is it's like resistance to physical damage and such. So
Okay.
you're at least doing that.
And then my only other question is it climbable to avoid the breath weapon if I get onto its like head?
I'm going to say there's a couple checks you could make
Okay.
to sort of maintain that, but I think a monk is pretty well equipped for that, so I would definitely let Don try.
I would like to do that, but maybe I'll do that on the next turn since I'm currently
you've got
bonus
some
actioning to
time.
flurry of blows. Yeah. Are you fucking kidding? A 2 on the first attack. Let's go for let's see if we can get 2s
4 in a row.
Yeah.
Unreal.
What the hell?
Oh no, we got a 17 to hit, folks. One of these will hit.
Exactly what you needed.
Unbelievable.
Gosh. For 7 damage on that, and for my last attack of this turn, we got an 18 to hit.
Wow.
I rolled the wrong dice, but for 5 damage.
Okay.
I'm feeling defeated. Poor Don right now.
There's a whole nother round.
Yes. Whoa.
Pyraxicon just stepped out. He hasn't seen any of this.
I know,
don't
that's the
worry.
only thing that's keeping me going is Pyraxicon saw me looking heroic and not just taking multiple blasts and failing to slap a gigantic skeleton right in front of my face.
Whew, okay, well, you got another chance coming up. Kooper, that's to you.
Before I take my turn, Peri, can you remind me that that thing you did last turn? Like, what ability did you activate?
The one that grants disadvantage, or the one that reduces
I want to learn more
damage?
about this.
Yeah, that is my Ancestral Protectors feature. While raging, the first creature you hit with an attack on your turn has disadvantage on any attack that isn't against you. And when the target hits a creature other than you, the creature has resistance to the damage.
Well, I would like way to think outside the box, first of all. And I would like to piggyback off of that and cast Compelled Duel on the creature, goading it towards me.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I love it. That's some synergy right there.
That is lovely synergy.
We're gonna go far together.
It's gonna need to make a wisdom saving throw itself.
Okay, just because I want this to work, I believe the spell ends if a friendly damages the target. So what you can do to totally loophole this spell is do this on your second turn before the turtle acts. And that way it doesn't cancel when in this bonus round you guys get all of them try to attack it and would damage and then take away the spell from you.
You're right. If I would read deep into the end of that spell, I would have known that. But I was too busy thinking about contracts to read this.
Paladin is a good fit because Paladin spells have so many fine print to them. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah. So for this turn, I'm just gonna Warhammer it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's deal some damage.
Yeah.
But that's a perfect, you are the last in initiative before turtle, so by attempting that in your second turn, there will be no way to interfere.
Yeah, consider what just happened was me and Sunny D just comparing notes while we're surfing around.
You're gonna circle back next round.
Yeah.
Yikes.
7 and 13 won't hit, right? I'm too busy thinking about my next round.
No, those will both miss. Is that both attacks? Okay, that damage round was significantly lower.
Okay.
Only probably because there wasn't a crit. Spike did a lot, but you've got one more round before breath. Let's see what could go down here. That goes straight back up to Spike.
Spike is bloodied and not looking good, and he spits this mixture of blood and poison spray from his mouth on the ground. And just, all right, if we don't take it out this round, I think this is it for me. Don, if I don't make it, tell my nephew Sylvester, just tell him to always stand up to your bullies. And he goes and he fires 3 more rounds into this thing, or he's going to try to. First one is 27 to hit,
Absolutely.
and that will be 13 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Next one is 24 to hit. This is 12 points of piercing damage. And come on, let's get a crit for one of these. Crit! Yes!
Wow.
Woo! 29 to hit.
Willing it.
Oh boy.
So this one's gonna be 21 points of piercing damage.
Wow. I challenged you guys. Spike rose to the occasion. Spike, you've just been, in this magical cover, without having to duck under massive bites and the swinging tail. You've just been able to, go sharpshooter on those joints and stuff like that. And you really start to see the ice falling off, almost like larger chunks falling off of you as you take shots, more effective than even your first round in combat, as you start to, remove the magic that's animating this this skeleton against you. That was a lot of damage. Still got some left.
And I'm just standing directly in front of its mouth as it's looking straight at me, just lowering my crossbow, begging it to breathe on me.
Peri, let's see what you can do.
Okay. Alrighty. That was a 29 to hit for 20 slashing. They're 19 on that attack roll.
Must be nice.
It's pretty awesome, man. And then a 21 to hit for 17 slashing.
Peri, you have found a new purpose and a sense of responsibility, maybe even before punching Chark Lazuli in the face. Maybe it was when you first stepped out to lead the group into a dark corridor with 90s rap pulsing from around the corner as little fish people smashed a printer into bits. And then taking that initiative is when maybe things were just starting to click in Peri's mind. And maybe that's subconsciously you put two and two together and understood the name Initiatech, at least subconsciously. And as you've traveled through the aquarium, you've put yourself in harm's way and were even ready to sacrifice yourself at some point for some reason. But that is a selfless act, and you have channeled your rage into something productive as opposed to just throwing a tantrum. You've also channeled your great axe into the neck joint of this dragon turtle, and as Spike stands there in his roiling shadows, daring this dragon turtle to bite down on him, it does as the skull falls off and just lands around Spike, leaving him completely unharmed, and the dragon turtle now unanimated as it sort of gently loses its magic, falls to the floor in the foot of water with a bit of a splash and a thud, and is no longer attempting to kill you. And Sunny D swirls around the top, lands Kooper back down gently in front, and spins up and is just like, "Oh man, I hope that didn't hurt. Too bad. He's really a nice guy." You stand there as a unified group, a team working together who has bonded over certain activities over the course of the past day, which means that Initiatech's weekend getaway, corporate retreat, was a total success in terms of its goals, and your goals of saving your employees was also a huge success. You see that the lights are kind of restoring themselves. This final burst of magical security from some Abjura Labs inventions has run out of juice, and carried through the hallway on sticks, sort of suspended by their wrists and ankles, are the three executives as little Kuotoa marched them down towards the left wing, chanting. It's very Ewokian as they go by, and Drid the Marid travels through, and as you see him walk through, he's casting spells. He's revitalizing exhibits. The water is fresh once more. Some fish swim back up to see what could be happening, what's going on. I think it seems like a good thing. The overgrown elements of the surface and floors shrivel away and are restored, and the clear light shining down through the crystal aquarium comes back as the afternoon sunlight shines through and displays this beautiful rainbow on the resting gentle skeleton on the ground in front of you. And the magic on those doors in front dissipates, and a few brave Initiatech employees dare to poke their head in, including Pyraxicon and Sylvester, and Sandy Shellsworth, who gives Kooper a bunch of kisses on the forehead. That's a weird roommate thing. She's so happy to see you, and they're all happy. And then
How do turtles kiss? They have like beaks, don't they?
Maybe it's like a little knock.
It's a lot of smushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very sweet all the same. And Peri, you see Torvald, your assistant, poke his head out of the hallway from which the Kuotoa came. You had seen him sneak off earlier, and you remember that Coinbane relayed to him to trigger this security system. And he kind of like darts around, seeing if he can spot his way out of this aquarium now that things seem to have ended.
So is he? I think Perry's genuinely confused about whether that wave was to help us or to harm us. And he'll probably just say, Torvald! Hey, where are you going? We did it. We saved the aquarium.
He freaks out. He thinks you can't possibly be actually genuinely happy to see him after he triggered this sort of Hail Mary security thing at the CEO's orders, who you also, and the rest of you realize, like, it seems Torvald was fine with the Peri plan too, and he's
Guys,
terrified
that was the guy. He's like
the guy who tried to, drown us all with the big wave, sir.
That
he
wasn't
comes out around from the corner. Is like, I had to do what I had to just follow. It's the boss said so. It's the CEO. I mean, I wouldn't have done it otherwise.
It was a cool diversion, dude.
Thanks.
I don't think that sir, I don't think that in good faith. He just endangered everybody's lives. This man, he was working with them, sir.
I'm gonna walk
Torvald,
up to...
is that true?
Yeah, as Spike approaches, he just kind of like, Torvald is just like, comes out around, his hands are up, but he sees, Spike, you're also like terrifying now. Like, you're like this change you've had, and you've got this weird green glow and the shadow too. Like your patron is doing a little bit more.
The shadow lasts a minute, so it can kind of go away as I step up. But.
Something's been elevated here.
I am very glad to see that Spike is okay, because Don was like, I had a sacred duty when you asked me to deliver a message if you were hurt. So it's very important to me.
I gave you a message to deliver.
My entire next turn was going to be based around that you had asked me this.
How that would affect you at the core of your being. I should have said, if that would have clicked, I really would have put the word in there, like, we got a one last message for you to deliver. Yeah. Oh man,
the emotions hitting Don in this moment. It hasn't.
So good.
Adrenaline is still coursing for Spike. It hasn't quite hit, but Don is feeling intense.
He was gonna step up, but it looks like Peri was going to. He was asking. Torvald. So
Torvald kind of like sees he's finished and is scared of Spike, and it realizes his goose is cooked, and he goes, look, man, I was hired to just keep an eye on you, to make sure you didn't interrupt meetings, sending your emails, your messages. You don't have those, dude. They hired me so that I would make sure you didn't mess stuff up. How did you not figure that out?
I'm realizing that I think I've got a lot to work on. Today was like the first time I felt like I could maybe like actually do something, but it's clear I'm not ready for that, and that maybe I should like figure out what Initiatech does.
And look, Peri, let me I'll level with you as well. I do some things for the company. If you've ever wondered why a merger went through at the last minute, or a company, someone in a competitor company didn't, somewhat disappeared. Maybe sometimes those things are taken care of by individuals in the company. I won't say who, but I was told that maybe you'd be someone who might need taken out at some point, and I'm on the payroll to keep an eye on you as well. But here's the thing, if I were a gambling man for you, I would bet everything that you would drive this company into the ground, taking control of it. Absolutely could not do it. That's what I would bet my money on. But I see you, spending some time with you, you've turned me, you've changed my heart a little bit. And I think clearly this company means something to some people around here.
Yeah.
Some people like it. And maybe you got a chance, you know? It would make me none the happier to see you drive this company straight into the toilet, but if you took over this company and made it right, and I look around, I assume all the employees are kind of around, right?
Yeah, they've filed back in and feel relief and happiness.
I think this is your moment to take it. And I suggest that you fire your assistant and maybe take control. I'm gonna cast suggestion.
Good. What do I roll?
Saving throw from Peri?
Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
Just to see.
I'm gonna step like 10 feet back just to make sure.
Perry is like, well, at least I have the aura. Just slides away from him.
It's a 6.
A 6?
I rolled a 6.
You fail, and I've suggested that you fire your friend and let these people know that you are gonna take control here. That'd be the suggestion that I
like out of a cannon, maybe.
While these two have a moment, Don and Kooper, you see that Torvald just makes a break for the door. Just full sprint. He's not far away, but just runs.
Can I take an action here? Or
Yeah.
a reaction to this? I'd like to cast Halt. A command with Halt.
Your DC is surely better than a 14, right?
Oh, it is.
Okay, yeah, he fails and just stops and it's just like, oh, like knows what happens, just gets so mad.
Don makes it like 20 feet past him because he took off on a sprint and didn't expect him to just stop. Out of nowhere.
Yeah. He had another 20 feet to go on a dash action. We'll just run right into Don.
Well, I think that I've learned a lot today about myself, about Initiatech, about the value of teamwork and having people who you can trust, but also who tell it like it is. And that's something that I think I've been missing and finally have. I might run this company into the ground, but I do think that we're going to be better to the environment while we do it. And we're not going to put scary electronics onto octopi anymore. Not on my watch. We're not going to we're not going to sacrifice anybody. Not on my watch. And Torvald, you're fired. And rehired. And you're starting in the mail room. And you and I are going to do couples therapy with Kooper Shellsworth. Because you're not my assistant anymore. Now you're just my friend, and we're going to figure this out.
Kooper, a perhaps confused Don, looks around, and Kooper, you know that like probably not how this is gonna go. There's some legality to hiring and rehiring, so an easy look between you two relieves any sort of fears for the future. But you give Peri the moment.
I want to start a slow clap using 6 hands to offset, so it sounds like more people are joining in.
Yeah,
Spike
There's a weird rhythm
is
to
like
it.
holding his brow like he was like attaboy when he was giving the speech, and then the rehire business with the thing. He's just like, I casted the spell. I used the spell. How did his dumbness outsmart me?
The employees of Initiatech join in the applause. There's some confused looks to why, like, how does Peri Did enough execs get carried off by Kuotoa to mean he's next in charge?
I was kind of feeling that Spike might kill them all for me, but I don't know how hostile a takeover it needs to be.
Grandpappy, the ancestor ghost, is also like whacking Chark Lazuli with his cane as he's being dragged off. And for some reason, Chark is like, "How am I feeling that? You're supposed to be ethereal." It's just whack, whack. They're fine. Kooper assures everyone that the right things will get sorted out, and the employees spend the last day of their corporate retreat just relaxing on the beach, where truly nothing goes wrong the next day, and have a nice day off at home before back to work on Tuesday. And any final words from the saviors of the day, the saviors of Initiatech?
Since we didn't really get the full vacation day, I'm not trying to get Tuesday off. I was just wondering if we could make it like a casual day on Tuesday when we come in. You know, Mr. Shellsworth, if that would be okay.
I've got just the Hawaiian shirt in mind. I am ready.
Yeah, interesting vibes at the office. Spike, you've figure like finish out your contract a little bit, at least to maybe keep an eye on how quickly Peri might bring this thing into the ground. But there's a chance that things go okay. Plus, a lot of just inheriting a company is making sure everyone else just keeps doing what they were already doing. So maybe he can manage that. The execs are never heard from again. And that brings us to the end of our adventure. Well done, y'all.
After moving through this together, we truly are like a family.
Yeah.
The camera zooms out from the aquarium and from this setting that this adventure takes place in, and goes into the tavern where we see our young businessman in his shirt and tie, surrounded by a typical fantasy atmosphere. He looks very out of place in the Tall Tale Tavern, and he finishes his story and rummages the papers around and kind of collects them, and he says, "Yeah, and that's I got out of there pretty quick. Yeah, I did. I don't really know how the company ended up with Peri in charge, but was not something I was willing to stick around for. Yeah, I'm still waiting for that lady to show up for the interview." And the bartender looks at him and says, "You know, kid, I don't think she's gonna show up." And he says, "Well, all right, I better get on out of here then." And he steps up and heads towards the front door. The bartender says, "Well, I don't think you're gonna be able to get back to where you came from through there. Why don't you head back through the back door of the tavern?" And the young kid says, "No, I'll find my way," and goes out the front door of the Tall Tale Tavern. And then all is quiet in the tavern for a moment. And then a rustling of pages is heard from every bookshelf lining the walls. Soon papers from around the room start swirling rapidly through the air between chairs and under tables, coalescing in the center into a large manila folder floating in the air. The air is quiet once again as golden letters engrave themselves on the cover, and the title, Acquisitions Aquatica, is clearly seen. The manila folder falls flat against the floor of the tavern. The bartender gives a questioning look and goes to pick up the folder. As he picks up the folder, thick red slime trailing from the bottom, almost appearing to attempt to hold the story to the floor, sticks to that manila folder, and then the bartender gives a final pull and releases it from the slime, which quickly retreats back into the floorboards. Bartender gives an inquisitive look, then shrugs and walks over to the bookshelves lining the wall and slides it in amongst the other stories. And thus concludes our 13th adventure in the Tall Tale Tavern. Whoa. Thanks to all the players this week, Scott, Ev, Jared, and Bones. Their socials can be found in the description. If you want to see the video of the episode, it'll be up on our YouTube. Follow us at Tall Tale Tavern Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. If you like us, give us one of those good 5-star reviews. Join our Discord too. We got all sorts of things in the Discord. We got a baking club now and a typing competition.
I still got to do that.
It's not much of a competition from Kyle's perspective.
You know what? I am trying so hard to improve my form. Anyways, we also talk about D&D stuff in there too, so that it's great. Join us. And thank you to Tyler Adelsperker for our intro music. Thank you to Zazar for our artwork. And with that, we will see you next time at the Tall Tale Tavern.